Let's hope.
Yeah, right. Once they move him out, it'd be horrible. God damn these flies.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I can fly twice as high.
Like a look. So yeah, once I get the word, I'll be headed back to work.
Gotcha.
EMX reading rainbow. 10 hours.
What?
It's a DMX. You know,
Oh wow.
reading rainbow DMX 10 hours.
Bless you.
Here, you can roll that up if you see one. You can swat it.
Nice. You got the what's it called now? Audacity open.
Yes, actually, I just need to stored it. All right, go ahead and talk.
I can fly twice as high.
Me too.
Just take a look.
It's in a book.
It's
Oh, you
reading
like
rainbow.
the lighting? I don't know if
Oh
you did.
yeah. I was wondering. I was like, 'cause I remember you had mentioned it. I hadn't had a chance to even.
It's pretty loud. Pretty bright, I mean. Pretty loud.
Hello.
I'm just gonna leave that running. We're doing good though.
Okay.
We're doing real good. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
If you want to go get something to drink real quick, get settled in. I gotta pee.
Alrighty.
Everything else is pretty much good to go.
Cool. You got the theme?
Yes, I just need to rewind it.
Okay.
Or do I? Oh no. Yeah, here it is.
What's going on?
We're saving up to break our contract someday.
With a Time Warner Cable bundle, there is no long-term contract to sign, and they can help with your early termination fee.
Sounds good to me.
It's that real shit, yo.
Okay. Okay. Busy day.
That it is.
Alright. Let's do this. Talk one more time?
Talking one more time.
Yeah.
Talking,
Yeah.
baby, one more time.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah. Ready for this jelly?
I don't know why it always does that. Alright.
It's that real shit, yo.
butterfly in the sky.
Come on!
I can go twice as high.
Let's get it on.
Take a look,
Nigga.
in a book.
My nigga.
Reading rainbow.
You think it's a game?
I can go anywhere.
Suck my dick.
Friends to know.
My nigga.
Ways to grow.
Nigga.
Reading rainbow.
Here we go again.
I can be anything.
Same old shit. What?
Take a look,
Nigga.
in a book.
My nigga.
Reading rainbow.
This is the shit I be talking about.
Reading
You think it's a game? You think it's a game? What you really want? What you really want? Ride or die.
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I swear, like, the internet connection didn't even have enough bandwidth to handle the combined awesome of DMX and Reading
Well, you know what
Rainbow.
the thing is? It was buffered all the way. So I don't know if it was just a video or if it was me skipping between tabs, but that should not have happened.
Well, it's a new buffer remix, I guess. They're trying to make it chopped and screwed.
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow, taking it back.
It's a remix.
Yeah. This is the abridged edition, motherfuckers!
Cliff's Notes.
Yeah. SparkNotes.com, sucker. But as always, this is Prometheus.
And this is Agamemnon with
And
a
you're-
slight cough.
Yeah, we both have. My cough is kind of back. I got that little tickle.
Ah.
But anyway, this is the tickle-free, straight out of Austin. But yeah, I hate to, use the same music, or technically the same joke-ish type thing twice. However, there's actually precedent for having it. It's not just a funny remix, but I'm sure the entire internet has already exploded with excitement that Reading Rainbow is about to be resurrected. Well, that's right. Geordie LaForge, better known as LeVar Burton, is coming back to, he's put Reading Rainbow on Kickstarter. He's trying to raise $1 million so kids can read. And I don't know if there's a goal more worthwhile. And I think it was within 7 hours he raised $1 million. So he's like, all right, well, $1 million, that was good.
Now,
But
everybody, let's raise $2 million.
Yeah.
I think he even cried, man.
Yeah, I think he did cry, yeah. He was crying through that little visor, so the tears were coming out in the little slits. But, yeah, I think he got the $2 million as well. I'm not sure. But I know he was saying if he got to $3 million, he was going to have it on consoles. So I guess you could download it like an app, similar to way if you have, like, Netflix
they
on
want
there.
it to be able to be free for poor schools, pretty
Yeah. I just thought it was funny how his whole thing was, I want to make sure that people that are, like, lower income can get this. But I also want to make sure it's on a console. It's like,
Yeah.
well, if you could afford a $400 console, apparently you're not. You're making enough to do something. But I thought it was interesting. I don't know. It's just one of those things that kind of came out of nowhere. But it was like a very pleasant surprise. It's just like all of a sudden it's like Reading Rainbow's coming back, and it's like I remember it as a kid, and I kind of remember it more for like its quirks. Just the whole, but don't take my word for it. Yeah, then I'll have the kid. I really like a Song of Ice and Fire.
Lots of people die very violently.
Yeah. But then it's like you kind of forget that on top of that, it actually served a real purpose,
Yeah.
A lot of people actually started reading because of this show. Like, they would not have given a crap about books had it not been for LeVar Burton. So it's a really good thing. It's one of those things where when you look at, like, America as a country and its educational system, the fact that somebody can graduate, not just attend, but graduate high school and still be illiterate. Like, somewhere along the way, something's gone awry.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ridiculous. But, I'm trying to find this now. Danny Danger had posted something on her Facebook page. Yeah. So people were trying to say, like, whoa, why do kids need Reading Rainbow? Like, you're still in the digital dust, LeVar Burton. There's an app for that. And he's like, yeah, well, he's like, yeah, there might be an app for that, but the kids who really need, some of the kids that really need Reading Rainbow don't necessarily have tablets to have apps,
Right.
It's like, obviously, this is geared towards, obviously, we'll gear towards everybody, because everyone freaking loves Reading Rainbow, and if you don't, meet me in a back alley in about 2 hours.
Philip K. dick.
Oh, you're just a David S. Goyer. You're a Brian Wood. But yeah, so he was saying like, yeah, the people that really need it, you know, or the people that don't have freaking tablets. I don't even have a damn tablet.
I have 2.
Well,
they're not mine though.
Well, I'm good. You have tablets for your income bracket.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited for this. I can't wait. I hope he gets to 3 million because I don't know how else I'm gonna watch it unless it's on my PS3 because that's pretty much the only way I watch TV.
Yeah.
So if I can't get it in that little like bar that goes down where like if you have HBO Go or Hulu.
Oh, the video
yeah,
section.
If it's not in the video section,
SMB.
I ain't watching it. So LeVar Burton, get those dollars, make those Benjamins. Maybe he can review a book about how to make money.
Make some rubles.
Yeah. Kickstarter or die trying.
Make it rain books.
Yeah. Oh my god! Can you imagine if it was freaking hardcover?
I make it rainbow.
Oh. Very nice, sir. Very nice.
Eat that one, Lil Wayne.
we had Beetle in here for like 2 seconds.
Oh, wonderful. as is a beetle is prone to show itself in the light and then scurry into the little cracks in the wall.
But I just want to say shout outs to everyone in the chat. Obviously, we got Mark Jenkins, a.k.a.
Mark.
We got Blood Ocean 07. Oh, we just got a guest. And then, of course, we have Luis of the Comic Bubble.
It's probably Beetle. Like, I don't want them to know it's me.
I know, right? Yeah, they always said that.
See, look, he keeps disappearing. He's like, oh, crap!
We said I'm in and out. That's what she said. But speaking of the Comic Bubble, which you can listen to every Friday at 8 p.m. Central, except for this week it's going to be on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's going to have Killy Nova and Ace Nova.
The only day that ends in Y.
But before that, I just want to... You know, I haven't listened to the entirety of the episode that our very own Jay Agamemnon was on.
Yeah.
I think I have like 10 minutes left. But first of all, I maybe really want to eat churros. But second of all, it was really good. Like, I really was like, ah, damn, they have really good chemistry.
Yeah.
It's like, what happens when he comes on this show? Like, we need to make the Isomemnon show.
Yeah.
Just have the whole comic. Because it was kind of like we always talked about doing a comic book show. And I was like, this is what I envisioned. Yeah. And the best part is I don't even have to do anything. But no, it was really good, especially because it's like I still have my stack from probably like a month ago. I've not read anything. So it was like really educational for me too. You know? So it's like I'm listening, I'm like, oh man, I didn't know about that. Oh man, that Magneto series sounds really cool. There's like some type of like mice one or something. I'm like, I never heard of that.
Well, there's Mouse Guard.
There was another one, or maybe it was rats. Or maybe I thought it sounded like mice.
Mice.
It was something else.
Well, there's Miss Marvel.
Rat Queens. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was trying to pick up today.
Rats.
Rats. Mac.
But yeah, so very good job to the two of you.
Thank you. And to Luis, our venerable host.
Yeah, that was the thing too, man. I was getting the feels when he's like, yeah, I've been with you guys for 2 years. I was just like, it's been so long. It's come
yeah, you just
so
sat there
far.
staring at the screen and all of a sudden...
Yeah. I was in my car, so I couldn't even see the road anymore. Sort of running over pedestrians.
Windshield wiping your glasses.
Yeah, I was windshield wiping the blood off my windshield.
Nope, no spit taking right now.
Sorry, Mrs. Morrison. Oh, you son of a bitch! Yeah, Louis, happy tears below. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's just like, man, it's like it's funny that the site's even been around for that long. Let alone, you know, we've had like, you know, you had mentioned on the Comic Bubble that Luis has been contributing. Like he's contributed like the most consistently, not only of like everyone we've had, but even now he contributes more consistently than we do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's like the perfect example of like the tortoise and the hare. It's like, hey, slow and steady wins the race. It's like, you guys are doing 3 articles a day. Where you at now? Because I'm still standing. I'm still strong, and I'm still popping tags.
I'm still reading Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm still doing the trial of Jean Grey, and it still doesn't make any. Damn it, that's what I forgot to bring. I was gonna bring them over so you could read them. But don't. So you can tell me how you feel about it, and I could say, but I won't take your word for it.
Well, I still have the Guardians of the Galaxy parts. Apparently, there was 3 of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I have all the all new X-Men.
Oh, perfect.
So with your comic books and my comic books, we
with
can read
all
a
comic books combined.
We can both read a subpar series written by Brian Michael Bendis.
And then critique it with Ice.
I forgot to ask before we got started if you had seen Game of Thrones.
I did. I wish Hibiki was here.
Because
she was actually going to pop up on the podcast, but she had something to do with my mom.
Oh, okay.
About phone business.
Gotta see a man about a phone.
She was not happy. Since she's not here, maybe she can describe it later if she's here in time and the little one's put to bed soon enough. But are we doing spoilers?
We'll just go ahead. Spoiler alert. I don't think Mark.
Because this story's not going to work without it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's why I'd asked, because I didn't want to spoil it for you. Because it's like it's one of those. Okay, I'll just say my piece real quick. It's not even spoilerific, but it's like, okay, I've read the books, and even before I watched the episode, I saw like all the Facebook posts of like, oh my god, that's the most horrific death I've ever seen on TV, not just Game of Thrones. Yeah. And I was still not prepared. You know,
really?
I was still just like, holy shit! The
mountain is strong.
Yeah,
he's like not strong. He's like you can't even fathom how strong is not the word. He's
mountain strong.
Yeah, the strong is not a word to use for the mountain. He's just like this force.
I know though, if the mountain rated that fight, he'd give it 2 thumbs up.
2 sunken eyeballs in your brain. Inward.
Oh man! But yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, Oberyn was like he was troubled through some parts of the fight. He was a little too cocky for my taste.
Only a little.
Only a little. You know, he got thrown down a couple of times, and then he delivers like the killing blows.
Yeah.
You know, a succession of hits with his long spear.
Mm.
And you think he wins, and I was just like, yeah, it's not over till it's over. You know, it ain't over. It's not over for me. Anyways, yeah, so like he wins, and the mountain's just like laid out on the floor, and he's just like, just like a little bit of backstory. The mountain is suspected to have killed Oberyn's sister.
Yeah, and niece and nephew.
Like her children and everything. He had raped her and then split her in half. So. It's crazy. So the mountain loses.
It's a very happy show.
He's one-handing a 2-handed sword this entire fight, and he gets taken down by Oberyn, someone like a third his size. You know, it's like Joe Pesci taking out, I don't know, Danny Glover or something. It's a really bad analogy.
He's too old for this shit.
Yeah, he's too old for this shit. Taking out Sylvester Stallone, let's put it that way. Yeah, so he's just like walking around. Come on, say it, and he's pointing to Tywin this whole time.
Yeah, confess.
Who sent the order? Who did the order? Blah 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 blah. And then he's just getting full of himself, and all of a sudden, the mountain's like huge river of a bicep, like sweeps his leg, and he falls, and then the mountain mounts him. Gets on top of him and just starts like piercing his thumbs, which are as big as an infant's head, into Oberyn's eye sockets, crushing them. And Oberyn's head is like on the inside of this guy's hands.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a fucking helmet.
It was totally like that movie. I keep forgetting the name. Is it 48 Days Later? At the end, or 28 Days Later?
Yeah.
Where like, what's his face? Cillian Murphy, like jabbing his fingers. It's like, if you thought that was intense, it's like when the mountain does it. Because that was like, even for me, like I don't ever cringe at anything. If anything, I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. I was just like, damn. Because it wasn't just like these stabs when they cut away. You just hear the,
Yeah, because like his head's shaking because he's trying to get the mountain off. But it's like, okay, One, the mountain is the mountain. 2, the guy playing the mountain placed 3rd in the world's strongest man contest.
Yeah.
That's how strong this dude is. And if you can post that picture that they put on Facebook with the 2 of them like being all bros.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'll see just how big the mountain is even compared to the guy that plays Oberyn. Like he's huge.
Yeah.
He's massive. And, he sinks his freaking thumbs into his eyeballs, and he's, like, slowly crushing them, and you just see Oberyn's head, like, shaking violently. He's like, his brain's not processing the pain properly just yet. And all of a sudden, you just feel and you see, like, the thumbs go through the sockets.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just hear, ah! And then all of a sudden, the whole head crushes And he said, and the mountain says something to him.
The mountain's saying like, because he's trying to get him to confess this whole time.
Yeah.
So just an aside, like he was really cocky, but at the same time, like his whole purpose for doing this was revenge.
Yeah.
It was like he's not going to be satisfied with killing him. Like he wants that confession before he dies. Well, first of all, he wants to know that he's killing the right dude. Like, have all these rumors been substantiated?
Yeah.
So he wants him to confess. And the mountain does confess, but it's not in the way he wanted it. So yeah, he says like, I did rape what's her name, Ilya. It's like, and I did kill her children. I bashed her head, and just like this, and that's when he just kills him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he actually heard the confession because of the writhing pain.
Yeah.
And then his head exploding.
The delivery was there, though.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Oh man, it was just. Because it's like, it happens exactly like that in the book, at least those final moments, and I was still just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You just see his brain, his whole head exploded. It was insane.
Well, to me, it was like classic, not to go too old school with this, but it was classic Vegeta. Overconfidence got the better of the person that you're rooting for.
Yeah.
And Vegeta wasn't always
I want
the guy.
you at your full strength.
Yeah, I want you at your full strength, Kakarot. Cell. Boo!
And
freaking everybody he fights.
All
and
the
then
people that have killed me.
Yeah, everybody that killed me because I let them power up past the point where they're stronger than me.
Yeah,
But,
it's definitely like if Game of Thrones was a zombie movie, that totally would have been the, never forget the double tap, always double tap.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was, oh man. I just love how, like, because everyone's thinking, especially Tyrion, he's thinking, there's no way Oberyn's beating this dude. He's just like, whatever, you bit off more than you can chew. I'm totally dead. This dude's not even wearing armor. And the whole time when they're watching the fight, like, him and Jaime are just like, and then when he starts to get the upper hand, he's like, he might do it. I might actually be free. Yeah. And you just see when they keep cutting back to them, they're all smiley. And then you see Tywin, he's actually looking like, oh my god. He
like
might
the Lannisters, with the exception of Jaime, are pissed. Well, and of course Tyrion. Yeah.
But
they're like everybody that's up there on the thrones, like they're upset.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh my god, I can't believe he's gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, nope.
Yeah, he gets. Yeah, he sweeps him with his river-sized bicep. And then he mounts him, crushes his head, and it's over. And then this is all leading up to the Hibiki story. And then his Oberyn's lover.
Oh yeah,
I felt so bad. Like I felt more for her. Like I knew Oberyn was gonna die.
Yeah,
because it was all the Vegeta symptoms.
Yeah,
classic Vegeta overconfidence. I was like, something's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it ain't gonna be good because one. There's the overconfidence. There's all the telltale signs that he's going down the Vegeta path, letting Cell get overpowered unintentionally or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this is Game of Thrones.
That's the thing, too, that I think is funny. It's just like, I feel like after watching this episode especially, it's like, George R. R. Martin, I think he's just the biggest troll. Like that's I think that's the real reason for a series. Like, okay, it's not a traditional medieval story, but there are trolls in this story, because like everything is just like plays on your expectations of how things are going to work out.
Yeah,
and it's like this one especially because it was like the perfect like underdog, and Tyrion has all out of hope, and then here comes Oberyn's like, I will fight for you,
and he won.
Yeah, he could have won had he.
Could have won.
At the very least, like if you're going to sit there and like try and get a confession out of this dude. Incapacitate him, because it's like he's that good enough of a fighter. I'm sure he could have cut like all of his tendons. And
that's what he did to his leg.
Yeah,
to disable him, and then he stabbed him through like the chest.
Yeah,
or something.
But I mean, he should have cut both arms, both legs, and made sure like all that could possibly be a threat is his head.
Yeah.
But then somehow I'm sure the mountain probably would have just bit his throat out or something. But it probably would have been less painful of a way to go.
Yeah, because at least they could have still did an open casket.
Oh my god, can you imagine? They're gonna have to give him one of the Tully funerals and have him on the boat and shoot an arrow at him.
It's just gonna be a clay pot head with those weird like protruding eyeballs that are just like open. They just look like ovals with like a blue circle in the middle.
Oh
like,
yeah, like they do with Joffrey.
Looking.
They're gonna give him the game of death treatment and just have a cutout of his body
with a towel over it. Yeah. That's where the neck's covered up.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I felt so bad for his lover.
Yeah.
Because who's gonna bang that hot butt now?
I
mean, like you see that shriek, like that was real.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like you like in like other movies and stuff, or what was it? I think in it was one of the Avengers movies. Like I forgot. I'm trying to remember what it was, but like someone was like screaming, but I was like, yeah, shut up. I don't believe you, phony.
I don't believe those eyes popped out.
Yeah,
of
but
her,
she was like. Well, like I'm not an actor, but dude, like I thought she thought that her husband really died.
Maybe they told her that before they started filming.
Maybe he really did die
in a horrible accident. His eyes have popped out of his skull.
Yeah,
goes, no!
Like he was so committed to like making that role happen. Like I'm gonna die, but clone me first so that I can see it happen and know, like, dude, that's crazy.
And I want to be in the sequel to The Prestige, so we're just gonna make this work. They just told him like the mountain just actually just did kill him. It's like, that's you only can do this once, so make sure you get it right.
Yeah, and then after all that, then the mountain plops over, all said and done, and who do you see there with that shit-eating smirk on her face?
Oh, Cersei.
Yeah. She's just like, yeah, I pay good money. I pay good money, sucker.
I was about to say, if she were a gangster, she'd be like, yeah, my ninja.
Yeah. That's my knight in shining armor.
Literally. But, oh man, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not great. It was great. It was a great execution for a horrible moment.
Yeah, because, like, the good guys pretty much lose, and then that face, Tyrion's face.
He just looks so sad. He looks like someone killed his puppy.
It looked like someone ate his birthday Jell-O. Like there was like a cup of Jell-O mixed with like pudding and like M&Ms and like whipped cream on top.
He just had some
and then like a cherry. Like, this is for you, pal. Go have fun. And when you come back having fun, you can fill up on all this sweets. And he comes back, and all it is just like the cup and the spoon inside it, and then just like a little bit of chocolate. And he's just like looking at it like, what the shit? But it's my birthday today.
Then Tommy walks up and he's like, "Hey, Tyrion, who took the jam out your donut?"
You did, Tommy. You did.
You did, the mountain. You took the jam out of Oberyn's face. Oh, man.
And crushed your skull.
Yeah. I just want to talk about one more Game of Thrones moment. And it was like another one where it's like horrible, but executed well. So this one wasn't in the book, and it's where the Hound and Arya get to the Eyrie. And she's finally made it to a destination.
Yeah.
And they're kind of buddy-buddy at this point. And, there's all the guards of the Vale, and they're like, who goes here? It's like, I'm Arya Stark. Which, first of all, didn't even shock them. They're like, okay, whatevs.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, well, your aunt's dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it's like...
She died 3 days ago, dude.
Yeah, it's like, we got some bad news for you.
It's funny because those two dudes would be fun if they just, like, looked at each other and then looked back at them. Like, she died a couple days ago.
She took a really nasty spill at the moon door. But I love how Arya just starts laughing hysterically. Like, she's just like, yeah, I figured as much. Why not? Why wouldn't this happen to me?
That's exactly what happened with Rob.
Yeah,
like, as soon as they get there, they're dead.
She's just like, can my family just live long enough for me to reunite with them,
Yeah, but the sad part is Sansa's there, so I'm pretty sure they just, like, turn around and leave.
Yeah. I know, and that's another thing. Okay, so remember I was complaining about the other episode with Bran and Jon Snow, where it's like they got so close, but it felt really forced because they did it already.
Yeah.
So they did it with this, but they did it well. Where it's just like, oh man, they had that moment again where they almost reconciled, and it's like, nope. No, never shall two Starks cross paths ever again. It's like even like freaking Benjen Stark from season 1 is like, where the hell has this dude been? They found his horse.
Yeah.
But oh man. So yeah, Game of Thrones, great stuff. If you have kids that need a book to read, I strongly recommend A Song of Ice and Fire. It is uplifting. It will give you the feels, just tender moments all through. From the spear in the gut to the thumbs in the eye.
So yeah, just to wrap up Game of Thrones, the whole death scene happened with Oberyn, and the room was kind of quiet, and then you just hear like the ending music, the cello or the violin, whatever.
Yeah.
Instrument that I don't know what it is.
It's a viola, bro.
Viola, yeah.
I don't know if that's what it is.
Oh, well, let's go with viola. Viola it is.
It sounds exotic.
The answer's always C. Yeah, so the music starts playing, and that's all you hear. It's just quiet. And I just kind of like, with the corner of my eyes, look at Hibiki, and she's just like, Well, that sucks. I'm going to bed. I was like, what's wrong? It's like, that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Oberyn's dead. He's the good guy. Like, she just couldn't. Like, no, fuck this. She went and cleaned for like 20 minutes, cleaned up the room, and then like passed out. That was the end of that story. I was just like, wow. Well, okay, let's not watch some Doctor Who.
Doctor, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. Doctor, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Game of Thrones will do that to you because it's like, yeah, I can't even think of like any situations where like the good guys that come on top. Like they'll have one or two like minor victories, but overall, it's just like it's just a downward spiral of death and destruction. But I don't know. That's like how I felt at the end, where it's just like it's over, and like I'm just sitting there, just like I need to talk to somebody about this. You know, I feel like you need to go to like a therapy room. Just like so. What are the events you just saw? It's like, I just saw the coolest character introduced this season have his head exploded by a giant murderer. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, granted, he was a little cocky and kind of brought it on himself, but still.
Yeah, Oberyn is like this season's Ned Stark. You know?
Or Robb Stark.
Yeah, well, I mean, Robb Stark lasted more than one season.
I see what you're saying, yeah. It's just like, it's this really charismatic guy. It's like, that is true, because he comes in like he's going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I've came here for my
the end
vengeance.
of the previous episode was like, I will be your champion. Like all of Inigo Montoya like, and shit. All he needed was the bad haircut. Well, he kind of had a bad haircut.
Yeah.
And just like this really like extravagant mustache and 6 fingers, or like a man with 6 fingers. I guess the man with 6 fingers.
Well, I think he has like 2 teeth now, or 6 teeth now.
Oh my god!
See where all the teeth fly out.
Punches him. It's like someone dropped a sack of marbles. You just like, boy, quick, pick them up before the balls drop.
Yeah, right. Dude, the Tooth Fairy was loaded after that day.
Yeah, you saw the Tooth Fairy just like jump the gun. Like, oh shit!
Treasure!
The best part is I don't have to pay out.
Yeah, right. She just puts the 2 coins on where his eyes would be, sinking to what's left of his skull.
Yeah, it's probably just Dippin' Dots. We're not Dippin' Dots.
Okay, the ice cream of the future, bro.
The chewably unchewable candy treat.
Carrie says it was so Mortal Kombat 9 with it. I don't know.
Dude, it really was. Like, it should have just been like, fatality.
You know what's funny?
Mountain wins by double KO.
You know, it's funny, because I was actually thinking that, because I was enjoying my delicious Cuban sandwich, courtesy of Cherrywood Coffee House. I was thinking, damn, Game of Thrones needs a fighting game. It's like, it would completely negate why Game of Thrones is so good if it was only fighting, but only just to have the mountain have a fatality like that, you know? Or just, and just to, like, over-dramatize it in the game, he'd probably lift him off his feet and then crush the head.
It'd be like Hugo.
Yeah.
Except everything ends in blood.
Yeah, basically. It's like, it's not, there will be blood. There is blood. But yeah, it was, oh man, it was incredible. It's just, I don't know, I love how Game of Thrones, like, the season's been kind of slow, but they just keep upping themselves with certain things. But, or Mortal Kombat X, I think that's the one that's coming out. I wasn't sure if it was like a movie or a game at first, but I also realized I kind of didn't care.
Yeah, we're not like... people like Mortal Kombat, and I got nothing against it. I just don't like it. I think it's a shit series. That's my opinion. I'm sorry if people don't feel that way. I've never liked it. Like, the last one I think I liked was probably Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I skipped over 3, and then I played the one where they did, like, the weird 3D, like, you had to hold down, like, L1
Oh, Mortal Kombat
R1.
4, when you had the weapons?
I think they had weapons, but you had to hold down, like, L1 or R1 and then press up to strife, and you just hear that weird, like, oot, oot, oot. I hated it. That was so dumb because, like, you could just time that shit all easy. Like, oh, man, out of the way.
Louis said, what? You're so wrong, sir. Have you, Mortal Kombat 9 revived the series. Have you tried that one?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's oddly enough because I do mildly enjoy Injustice.
Oh, yeah.
But I like it. I like the story more.
Yeah.
That's one of the few exceptions where, like, well, and it shouldn't be an exception because the story ultimately is what should make anything entertaining, whether it be a book, a movie, or a video game. Like, the story is what, in my opinion,
or an eye-popping episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, an eye-popping, just something just so ridiculously violent. And then have, like, the one hot character that they haven't showed her boobs yet, have her show her boobs. You know, that's how that works.
Melisandre?
Yeah, Melisandre, she's beautiful, but, like, I still don't, like... Like, it's finally sinking in, like, what was the point?
Yeah, okay, I want to address that. Okay, so...
I'm not complaining, but I am.
They've got the same way.
Because, like,
I'm the same
as
way,
much
it's
as I
like-
would love to see her fully nude,
Yeah.
I would wait for, like, Maxim or, like, for her to, like, her selfies to get hacked or something, and okay, I'll look it up. But, like, for it to be, like, on Game of... or, like, Playboy.
Yeah.
But, like, for just to be on Game of Thrones, just, like, it just doesn't really serve the story's purpose.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Okay, so... I never thought I would say this, but I'd like the nudity on Game of Thrones specifically, and on HBO just adding stuff is just so unnecessary. It's like, okay, yeah, she's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you would not want to see her naked, but it's just like I actually feel bad for them as actresses, where it's like they're on a show where everyone on there is a really good actor, and a lot of them are like up and coming, so they don't have like the opportunity. It's like now with Daenerys. What's her name? Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
She's able to say, I'm not going to do any more nudity. I'm a big enough star. I can
Yeah.
do other stuff. So she can have like a no nude clause. These other actresses can't.
Yeah.
It's like they still have to, pretty much do fan service. That's not even in the book. That serves no story purpose.
Well, not only that, but that's, like, borderline illegal. But it's almost at the point I was like, well, we can just recast you just as easily.
Well, it's not illegal, but it's just like it's in
Yeah,
poor
but I
taste.
Well, okay, I see it this way. If no matter where you work, you can't force somebody to be nude.
I don't think they forced her though. I'm pretty sure it was in the contract.
Yeah, but if she just disagrees, like it makes it seem, or at least from your perspective, makes it seem like it's just outright like she can't.
I don't know
not
that
say,
she...
like because Emilia Clarke's a big enough star, she can say I don't want to be nude. But it's
Yeah.
like, well, is a no nude clause even necessary? What if she just said like I'm not getting nude? What are you going to do about it?
It depends, because that was actually a controversy for some Showtime show, and they tried to sue her. But I think with her thing was like, it was very overt in the contract that would be something in there, and then at the last minute she said she didn't want to do it, so like halted production. So, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where they obviously... if you know what contract you're signing, if you're signing onto a Game of Thrones show, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's necessarily that they're being forced. I just think that it's like it's overused and it's unnecessary. Like Blood Ocean says, or Carrie Figueroa says that they do it for the views.
Do it for the vine.
Do it for the vine. But to me, it's just like, okay, especially in this scene, it's like a guy who's a eunuch is checking out a chick that's topless. It's just like, where's this going? It's the most scene, at least in like season 1 when Daenerys is naked, and like the weird, creepy part where her brother is like getting her ready to be sold.
Yeah.
It has an impact because she's like exposed. He's being really creepy and really weird.
Well, it's just a contrast from the woman that she was to like
Yeah,
the woman,
exactly,
like she's
yeah.
a girl
Yeah.
then. It's very vulnerable and
yeah,
gullible.
yeah, exactly. The vulnerability
and,
it plays into there.
And then now she's like this fully fledged, like I don't even consider her a woman. She's just an outright leader.
She's a dragon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
she's just like a force to be dealt with now.
Yeah.
Like, and nothing's gonna stop her yet that we've seen so far.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess to me it's just like, I wish they would at least be smarter about it and use it in situations where it's necessary.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But that's just my 2 cents. Again, I got nothing against boobs.
I don't either. Like I'm not
forgot.
complaining seeing them. They were quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like but I just wonder. Like I'm somebody that's very story oriented.
Yeah.
So if I look at something, I'm just like, all right, well, what's the plot device to that? Obviously, he sees her as very beautiful. Like who wouldn't? But at the same time, it's like, well, you could have done that whole scene more elegantly. Done like a shot of the sun on her back as she's like washing herself or something like that, and just catch this like really like miraculous view of her.
Yeah.
To where he's just like awestruck.
Yeah.
And then just like, wow, where you just see that he's like encapsulated with her beauty, and then she turns around and sees, and then she covers up out of embarrassment and takes off. It's like that would have been much more elegant and tasteful than just her, just her chest, tucked out in the middle of the river, just like boom, just sitting here with the girls.
But that was the thing too. The direction of the scene didn't make any sense because she
Yeah.
notices that he's looking at her. and then he gets all like shy and just submerges in the water like a fucking submarine. Yeah. But she like,
and then you just see the top of her head just.
But it's like first she like shows it's like she's posing at first, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh wait, I should be shy, and then covers herself up. It's like, wait,
like she's just sitting there like, man, my boobs look real good right
she's
now.
like, I want you to see them at first. Okay, show's over. Yeah. But the other thing I don't get was like, wasn't he bathing too?
Yeah.
How does she of the 8,000 Unsullied she's never seen what their crotch looks like? Despite the fact that they bathe with an eye shot of one another.
Yeah.
So she doesn't even know if he's fully castrated. I don't know. Like, that whole scene was just like,
she couldn't wait it out behind the bush and be like, has he got a penis? You know?
Does he have pillar and stones?
Does he have a pillar without the stones or just nothing?
Yeah. I don't know. It was so
Or did
dumb.
the building crumble?
It's just, I don't know. Come on. Get it together, Game of Thrones. Get it together. Grey Worm English is the best.
Grey Worm is freaking Rico Suave with that English, dude.
I'm glad it happened. So am I.
Yeah. I've never heard anybody with the FOB voice just be like so elegant.
It's because he has like that freaking Barry White baritone.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm Grey Worm.
His voice is like 3 times the size of him.
I know.
For someone who has no balls, he has a lot of testosterone.
He's got a lot of this.
To have that deep of a voice.
He's got a lot of kushba.
It's ridiculous. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe that they just have actors do that. Because I've been watching The Wire, and the guy who plays Littlefinger is a main character in like the 3rd and 4th season. Sounds nothing like him.
Yeah.
It's like his voice is like 10 times as deep in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's like, when I'm menacing, I have to do it with a rasp.
Yeah, and a slight Irish.
Yeah, the way he turns his mouth when he talks.
Yeah, he's got like that, like 17th century, like Sylvester Stallone going on. Like, what if Sylvester Stallone wasn't born in Philly, but born in 17th century Ireland?
I can just see they're trying to get him.
Or Scotland.
They're trying to get freaking Sir Rambo to come help him.
Yeah.
You got swords. You got arrows. No, of course not. We're peaceful. They're not gonna change
We've
anything.
only got bondage wraps and milk of the poppy.
Then you're just gonna get hit with a Dracarys. Oh man.
You know the change. What? What? I'm gonna change nothing.
It's like he got shot in the mouth with an arrow when he was young. Wildlings raised his
I
village.
used to talk like a normal person.
Your mother makes
but
the
then
best.
I got shot in the face.
Your mother makes the best potato stew. Then he got shot in the mouth with an arrow. We're gonna eat your mommy and your daddy.
We're gonna eat your mama, and then we're gonna eat your papa,
and then we're gonna eat your doggy for dessert.
I swear that part. I don't know if we talked about it last night. That part resonated with me in like a bad way. That cannibal. What are they called?
The Thanes.
Yeah, the Thanes.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, because my son calls me and Hibiki mama and papa. So he's like, I'm gonna eat your mama. I was like, Hibiki, and then I'm gonna eat your papa. Me? You think he's gonna eat me?
Where's the Night's Watch?
Because I've never heard any, like, not like I'm all unique and stuff, but like everybody that I've been raised around, it's like mom and dad.
Yeah.
So every mom and dad, it's like it's mom and dad, not mama or papa.
Yeah.
Or pops or moms or whatever. It's just mom and dad.
Yeah.
And my kid calls me mama and papa.
Yeah.
So then, like, hearing that term, like, it's just like in my perspective, you don't hear it often. It's like, first I'm gonna eat your mama. And then I'm like, I can't get over it. It's just like sitting there, like a Thane is gonna eat me one day when I'm coming out of the freaking donut place. Like, oh man, my sugar coated arm.
That's why you better keep your Valerian steel sharp.
And then he's gonna go up to Jet and be like, I'm eating your papa.
And he's like, do you know how to get to Castle Black? Mm-hmm. He's just gonna start running.
He's gonna run all the way there, like the way Elmo runs.
Oh man! All right, so we'll move on from Game of Thrones. I can literally talk about Game of Thrones this entire podcast, but because there are more scenes and more to discuss. But
yeah. I need to be up to date with my stuff more often. Man. It's like on point.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Good banter instead of a monologue.
Shut up.
Well, Mark's leaving us. But thanks for listening, Mark. The one part that you probably do nothing about. But we appreciate you listening anyway.
Hey, play us on the radio at work.
Yeah, make all the customers listen.
Yeah,
Tell
and
them
your night crew friends.
Yeah. And if you have any night crew lady friends, send them my way.
Yeah. Say hello to Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Stay away from the gators.
I think they have, or is it crocodiles in Louisiana?
Whatever.
No, I think it's crocodiles in the southern hemisphere.
They're all amphibians.
Are they?
No, they're reptiles.
What about Crocodile Dundee?
He's Australian, mate.
I was trying to remember. Damn it.
Australians are like, "Where's the car?" And New Zealanders are like, "Where's the car?"
Luis, help me out. What's the name of the gator that's in Ninja Turtles that has the Louisiana accent? I can't remember what his name is.
Killer Croc.
Anyway, so there are rumors that
You liar. You said you were in Louisiana.
He's Louisiana fast. Anyway, so supposedly there's rumors that Marvel is going to cancel their Fantastic Four comics to try and hurt the Fantastic Four movies. So first of all, it's a rumor, and it's stupid, but I only wanted to bring it up because it's like, well, mainly because it's dumb, but it's like, any research I've read is like there's like a very like marginal effect that the movies have on the comic book sales at all. So Leatherhead, that's his name. And it's just like, why? It doesn't make sense at all. First of all, it seems like Marvel would hurt themselves more, and it's not as if the movies. I mean, the movies are going to succeed or fail on their own merit. It's not going to be because people can't go to the comic shop and find Fantastic Four comics. Like, they're not going to the comic shop to find Fantastic Four comics now without a movie. So it just seems really dumb. And if Marvel is really doing that, then for shame. It's like it's bad enough that they can't even get freaking Ant-Man right. Like, now they can't even get their own like comic book stuff right. That's like something I would expect from DC. But like Marvel's like good kid. It's like, come on, Marvel, you're a better kid than that. You're not like your older brother DC that can't stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
So it just seems ridiculous to me.
Too true.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't even know who's even writing Fantastic Four now. Like, they're just like, so, or you know what? I feel like if they did cancel the title, they would just change the name. They just kill Johnny Storm off again and just have like the Fantastic Three.
I think they did in Original Sin, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did they really kill him again?
Because they were like, "What's Johnny Storm's original sin?" And it showed him like dead on the cover. I'm like, did he die? When did he come back? When the fuck did he come back?
Maybe he was just sleeping. Luis says James Robinson's writing Fantastic
Well,
Four
whatever
now.
I saw, he was lying in
killed him.
the rubble. And like, what was Johnny Storm's original sin? I was like, did he die again? I just want to know when he came back. Is that all? Is that too much to ask for?
Okay, Carrie says that that's the same reason why Superior Spider-Man was canceled. Because of Amazing Spider-Man, the movie, because it kind of coincide with, hey, the movie's coming out, now we got to get Peter Parker back into his actual body. And
did they ever do that?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was entirely the case. But it's so stupid. It's just like, dude, it's like, okay, like literally if you don't read comics now and you see one of these movies, unless it's like Days of Future Past only because there's an actual graphic novel you can pick up that's loosely based on the story, you're going to be lost in a comic shop. Like, there's not a direct translation. Like, Watchmen works, V for Vendetta work because they're all self-contained. Like, monthlies or weeklies or whatever, like they do not translate to sales at all. Because even when we got back into comics like a couple of years ago, you walk in the comic shop, you're like, there's 50 X-Men titles. I don't even know where to start. You know,
this was the number 10. I thought there was like 800 issues. What's the deal?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know why Marvel keeps trying to, mesh.
I mean, they just rebooted Captain Marvel. It ended at like issue 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And now it's like on new issue 3.
Yeah. What they need to do, if they really want to have these stupid movie tie-ins with the comics, they need to make another line.
Yeah.
And make that line based in just, where the characters are closer to their movie counterparts.
Yeah. This is the event line.
Yeah, pretty much. Because, I mean, why not? I mean, if the Ultimate line is just going to be garbage anyway and dead 3 times over, they might as well just make another line, and this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe on, comic book version.
Yeah. Isn't, what's his name? Miles, isn't he like in the 616
I think he's now in like all new X-Men. I saw the cover, but I wasn't sure if it was like a Photoshop.
Welcome
Hey, they're out of ideas.
Yeah, they're officially out of ideas.
Yeah, Luis said Spider-Man was never meant to go on only until Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. And Johnny Storm was revived by an alien species in the negative zone.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's like, hey, it's like a species that all like they're just called the retcons.
Yeah. We are the Retconanites.
Okay, so speaking of that, I was gonna wait to bring this up. But
you can't wait no more.
Well, I can't wait because it has to do with retconning, and it's a perfect segue. So, Mr. Singer, Mr. Brian Singer, I know you're listening. I know you're out there. And I know you can hear me in your mind. I do not forgive you for making 2 subpar X-Men movies, and I certainly do not forgive you for diddling kids. But I'm going to put that aside. And if you think just because you made 1 good X-Men movie that I will let you off the hook for those previous X-Men movies, you have another thing coming.
All right, just to let you know, me and Hibiki saw X-Men Days of Future Past as well.
Okay, so
I can join in on this conversation.
Okay, good. Wow, we can have full conversations.
I know.
We have treble.
Is it a full moon? What's going on?
But okay, yes.
Luis, we saw it Saturday.
I enjoyed it. It was good.
It was good.
It
was really good.
Okay, so first I'm just going to go...
I was happy.
I'm going to go... Okay, first of all, the person I'm not apologizing for Brian Singer. You're still a son of a bitch. You still owe me another good movie,
Yeah.
and then
you still owe someone a childhood.
And then, yes, and especially another X-Men movie that's good. But I will give Luis an apology because I wrote off the fact that he enjoyed X-Men Days of Future Past because of his Iceman X1.
You know, I gotta say, Iceman was pretty fucking dope.
You know the
Even
part
with that beard, he's like sliding around. I hate that he died like 2 or 3 times in the movie.
I was like, when he dies the first time and he smushes his head,
Yeah.
I cried out. I literally cried out for Luis. I was like, Luis, I feel your pain. I'm sorry.
You know, and because I thought you would do this, I laughed.
Oh yeah.
When his head was like boop boop boop, and then the Sentinel steps on it and crushes it. It was like, now I got ice for my soda.
Dude, I was sad for Luis. I don't know why. Like he literally popped into my head, and I shed an ice tear for him.
Dude, but those deaths were brutal. Like
they were.
When they ripped Colossus in half at the end, I was like, oh my god.
Dude, the part where they're I forgot whose head they're sticking towards like the big fire flame that was coming towards
yeah,
them.
I always forget his name, but the Indian dude with the sensitive
T-Hawk.
Yeah, T-Hawk.
Chiba Hawk. But I thought one of the best things, so
Hunting Bird or something. Warpath, that's the one.
Squatting Bull. Oh my god, he didn't even look like Warpath. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
I have that action figure, and I don't even know.
He has those freaking Rambo knives. They're like better than Rambo.
But
knives.
he doesn't.
He's got 2 of them.
But he didn't have the red bodysuit. That's how you know, with the little triangles on the side.
But he was like visibly Indian.
Well, that actually goes to my point. The costumes still suck.
Yeah.
I did not like the costumes at all.
I think Bobby's wasn't really a costume. He just had like that really.
But it's that stupid black leather garbage. It's just like everything is black.
I thought it was just like
it
was a trench coat. Or
something. This is so emo. I don't know.
You know, I actually don't understand why he wears a coat because he's like forever cold.
For style.
Yeah,
for style.
Yeah, he was pretty stylish.
But okay, so that's really one of my only nitpicks is the costumes still suck. Just go to a comic convention, kidnap some cosplayers, make them make the freaking costumes. Just do that. That's the first thing you need to do, and it'll be like infinitely better. Because Quicksilver's costume still looks like ass.
But that was the best part of the movie.
But Quicksilver was freaking awesome. Like that was, if there was ever like, it's almost like what they should have done is when they released all those stills and that stupid commercial, that shouldn't have even have been his outfit.
I just have to ask one question because he's in the chat room. We need to snatch him while we can.
Yeah.
Beetle's in the chat room. Hello, Beetle. Have you seen Days of Future Past, Beetle? We need to know this now.
But, I feel like that would have been the ultimate troll if it was just like they'd made him look all lame and then you see him in the movie. And I guess maybe that's what they did. They did make him look all lame. And then in the movie, it's just like, yeah, he was freaking awesome. Like, that scene, man.
Okay, because I thought Beetle would probably really love that scene the most. I kind of wish I saw it with him.
Because it was very Dante?
Well, it's not only very Dante, but they played Jim Croce's Time in the Bottle. And if you know Beetle as well, he's like a big on like old school, like oldies
He's
music.
an old soul.
So he's got a record. This kid was 15 years old with Beatles records, Jim Croce, What's the other guy? Something Diamond, Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
like that was Beetle.
To be fair, they were in the 70s, so that actually made sense for him.
Yeah,
but
no, yeah, I get that. But I mean, like the fact that I think Beetle would have gotten a kick out.
Oh
of that
yeah.
Because that he listened to all that stuff growing up. Yeah,
Eric Clapton.
The Cream of Clapton. You remember that shit?
Best album title.
Cream
ever.
of Clapton.
Clapton.
Say we used to get the Columbia House back in the day. The $12.99 for like 12 CDs.
Oh,
BS.
that
I got LL Cool J's All World.
Let me lick my lips.
He got Eric Clapton, Cream of Clapton.
Oh, nice.
And I was just like, this was like I was going through puberty, and I was like, that sounds so perverse. Like that sounds like something I'm gonna squirt on one day.
And one day you did.
And I
this
did.
music is so good.
Oh
Clapton.
yeah, TLC Crazy Section.
Oh my God.
We had what was that?
They're about chasing waterfalls.
No, well that was on the album. We had who were those punks that sang Candy Rain?
I don't remember.
Candy Rain.
Louis says the only thing is that whether the comics or the movies or even the TV show, I'm always teased with an Iceman/Kitty relationship always taken away from me. Damn you people! Yeah, because at the end I think she ended up with Colossus anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and I know Beetle was happy about this when he saw it when Cyclops finally comes back. Yeah. And it's like finally.
It felt so phoned in though. Like that was the only thing that upset me. I was like, "Oh, James Marsden, he's back!" But then he was just kind of like I got to be at a real movie right now.
Well, I think
and then he just walks off.
He probably did walk on right onto another set. I know. But it was, I don't know. I thought it was great for the whole reason.
I thought it was great too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like when you just look back at his ass, it's like, why are they still giving him ass glasses?
Those glasses were terrible.
They were
Dude,
so ass.
the glasses in the very first movie were infinitely
they
better.
They were just dark red Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get, I mean, you can get cooler than that.
You can't just get red lenses for regular.
I know.
Yeah. I want a Cyclone kick into optic blast. That's what we all want. Those were future glasses.
Channeling the gods of Marvel too.
Come on, you can't wear past glasses in the future. But I thought, like, as much as I loved everything about the movie, what I loved the most was the fact that it retconned everything. Like, this is finally when, like, I'll complain about retcons always, but it means nothing. None of the movies besides First Class happened. Everything is gone. The whole slate is wiped clean.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
I wish I had one of those recorders for the car. Because the whole ride home, I was trying, and this is why I hate. I feel like the Dave Chappelle convention.
The player hate his ball.
The player hate his ball. Hate. This is why I hate time travel stories. Because the explanations afterwards. That's one of them. I just hate them in general. I think they're dumb. Yeah. But it was an enjoyable movie. I loved it. I'm not going to lie. It was good. It was a good movie. But like, Habiki was trying to like wrap her head around it. I was like, okay. So now that the movie's over and we got to the spoiler and all that stuff, it's like, I need some explanations. It's like, so, and then she started, I mean, I really wish we'd had recorded it because it was magic. It was lightning in a bottle. Like, there's no way I could recreate it perfectly without sitting down for hours and then rewriting it. But like, I'm sitting there explaining, like, so Kitty didn't have these powers to like channel someone's consciousness to go to the past. I guess they're using it as a secondary mutation in the movie.
Yeah, because it was somebody else that had to use it.
Yeah, well, I don't know who it was, but I was just explaining to her. So, no, she only had the power to phase, and by proxy, her powers affected electrical equipment. I don't know where they decided to pull this thing out, but I guess it made sense to a degree. So I was just like, so she has the power to send someone's consciousness a certain amount of time back to the past. Yeah. And she was like, but how? I was like, I guess it's by creating a rip in space-time, and then she sends your consciousness through there. She's like, but I mean, in the movie, like, I'm guessing in the future or the present. I was like, it's the future. Yeah. I guess it's their present, but it's the future. Yeah. She's like, well, now I'm confused. I was like, just call it the future. We're the present, and they're the future. All right? And the other ones are in the past. That's how it goes. And she's just like, okay, so are they there for weeks? I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, Kitty's just sitting there doing the thing, like nonstop for like 4 weeks or so. Yeah. I was like, well, what makes you think that? It's like, well, because it took them like days in the past, and they're going from France to New York to D.C., and all these other places in between. It's just like, how long does that take? Like, I mean, is that all happening in like?
Yeah, is it all real time?
Yeah, is that all happening like within the span of the movie's time? It's like, well, I'm gonna guess that Kitty was doing this for no more than like 8 hours. I'm gonna say like 8 hours because that was like, oddly enough, that was like the last stand.
Yeah.
No shot calls to X-Men 3, but that was literally more of a last stand than X-Men: The Last Stand. You know?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that was pretty much their last ditch effort to send Wolverine back to the past. And she was like, well, why couldn't they just leave his consciousness there? It's like, well, that's I don't know, but that's not how it works. It's like, it's hard to explain because I'm not a scientist.
It's one of those things where it's like there's a
theoretical
little
science.
thread, and when you pull it, the entire thing unravels. Like, you know, if you apply logic to any of it, then it's just like now. But yeah, I mean,
I was like, if she breaks the link with Wolverine, Wolverine's consciousness goes back to the present.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, it goes back to our time, and there's no future. I was like, no. Okay, their present is the future, so it goes back to the future. And she just like looks back. She's like, huh.
Well, you know what was funny though? It's like it seemed like he could only affect the past, or the past was only affected like while he was actually like instrumental.
Yeah, because like it's pretty much the wormholes, like, or I guess the rip in space time is like a window into the past. So once you break the link, you're closing that window. Thus, nothing ever really changes.
But what doesn't make sense? Well, a lot of it didn't make sense. But the whole thing was just kind of funny, where
even
it's like,
though all the events that lead up to that big event,
yeah,
would change some aspects of the future.
That's the whole thing. It's like his job was pretty much done already.
Yeah,
I think like they had done it because it's like he ultimately didn't do shit to lead to the finality of what happened. Like he just got chunked in the ocean.
Yeah, he just got the band back together.
Yeah, basically.
That's all it was.
Yeah, everyone else did all the work.
I'm on a mission from Charles Xavier.
The thing I thought was really ironic is had Kitty gone back instead of Wolverine, she would have been infinitely more effective. Because the second,
yes, but she didn't have a consciousness.
No, I get that, but I mean, it just seems like two things to that. But I mean, as far as like story wise, because the Sentinels are running around, her whole power is phasing through like metal. You know, disrupting electronic things when she phases through them. So she would have taken out every single Sentinel, like, really easily.
Yeah.
She would have been able to take out Magneto really easily. It's almost like they're like, well, we don't want to have to write this clever. Not only that, but after they broke out Magneto, why did they not take Quicksilver with them?
I don't know. He just he literally like,
you know,
no Kitty Pryde, but he got phased out.
But no, it really was just like he was the ultimate ex machina, and it almost seemed like they're like, well, he had his moment to shine. We can't write this movie without depowering him, like, from this point on in the movie. So we're just gonna have him gently out in the Expendables.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I'm out of here, guys. I see you later. I'm gonna go make real movie.
Because they didn't even have like an excuse for why he had to go. I mean, not only the fact that he's like now a felon.
Yeah.
Like the government's gonna be after him for breaking into the fucking Pentagon. Like he didn't even wear a mask. So I don't know, but I thought it was funny. But I mean, it's one of those things. I'm not even mad at him for that. It was just funny that it was just like, what? This dude, like, you have Magneto, Professor X, you know, Wolverine, and he outshines all of them, and you're not going to bring him to do the most important
it's thing like they
ever.
made him so powerful.
Yeah.
Like you're just going to be an assist
with
a 2-hour, like, refresh rate. So we can't use you for the rest of the movie. Sorry,
yeah.
bro.
It was, I don't know, it was just funny, but...
Yeah, but that whole, like, I'm sorry Beetle's gone, but, like, that whole, like, time in the bottle scene... I forgot to elaborate on it, but that was incredible. Like, I was geeking out.
It was fantastic.
It was just so weird because you would think a song like that wouldn't, like, add to a comedic tone.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I forget the kid's name, but the actor who plays Quicksilver, like... He made that scene work on so many levels. And then with Jim Croce's Time in a Bottle creating that, like, odd disparity, you know, where it's just, like, this funny scene with this, like, really, like, serious, like, not really morbid, but, like, a really slow song.
Yeah.
You know? And then just, like, go into the whole thing. But it's like, you know, the song works because if I could save time in the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's literally, like, moving so slowly that, like, time is just nothing to him.
Yeah.
You know?
Bloodrush 07 has an explanation for why he left halfway through the movie. He says, well, he got captured in the mid-roll credit scene at the end of Cap 2. So obviously he was predisposed. But I thought it was funny though, because it's like when the pictures came out of him, and it's like he looks terrible. The Avengers movie versions can be so much better. Game on, Marvel.
Yeah.
Now it's like yours looks better, but will it function better? Because if they can top that. That will be.
I feel
insane.
like when they go and see this movie, they're gonna go and like rewrite.
Yeah,
some things. They're like, all right, everybody come back, Evans.
They just put delete on the whole movie, and now they got to do it over.
Yeah.
But you know another thing that I thought that was funny with Quicksilver, well, funny / infuriating. So while he's running around at this insane speed, all I could think about was Ultimates 3. Where he somehow gets shot through the hand trying to catch a bullet.
Trying to catch the bullet
instead
of moving
it's like it's already shown that he can literally run like circles around a bullet. Like bullets are like candy to him. They're licorice.
Yeah.
It's just like a bullet would not shoot him through the hand. Like it wouldn't even be quick enough.
Yeah.
You know, like he could literally just like grab them all. That was the thing too. I loved how he didn't even stop the bullets. He easily could have just picked them out of the sky and threw them on the ground.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make it all dramatic, you know. And I love how he almost forgets to even worry about the bullets. Like, he's worried about just, like, screwing around. And then he's like, oh, he has this look on his face like, oh, yeah, the bullets.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, it's just so funny in the comic where, like, Mark Miller, like, puts so much effort to make a huge emphasis on Quicksilver's powers and abilities.
Yeah.
To where, like, time, like, is so much more than just this, like, concept.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just, like, hours and minutes on the clock.
Mm.
Like, for him, it's almost like a way of life. But like,
yeah.
It slows down to his will. You know, it's like the one thing that everyone wants to manipulate.
Yeah.
And it's his, like, natural-born instinct. You know?
Yeah.
People's like, if I could have more time. And like, yeah, well, I can have, like, 2 years and, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's got, like, all the time in the world. Luis points out, he says, here's the thing. Quicksilver has different attitudes. So while the Fox uses the comedic version, Marvel used the more serious / evil at first / protective version. It'll be a little bit more of a apples to orange comparison situation. To me, I get that. Like I kind of hope they do like the whole cocky like asshole Quicksilver in the Avengers version.
Yeah, because the way the Avengers was very snarky. Very cocky very cocky movie. So it's like, well, I think that Fox's version of Quicksilver would fit in beautifully into that whole equation.
So, but to me, I think it's not so much like his personality. Like, I expect it to be different just simply because of different writing team. But I'm just saying more like visually. Like, how are they going to use... I don't know. Whatever they do, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Because it's just like the way the Avengers was, the action in that was fantastic. So... Yeah. I can imagine when you throw Quicksilver into the mix. And now it's like, now that we've seen like the capabilities of a... significantly lesser franchise, you know. So it's like, all right, now let's see what the pros can do.
Well, I'm saying, in my opinion, I think First Class proved you can have an X-Men movie that not only works well, but is like hugely successful.
Yeah.
Without Wolverine. And I think Days of Future Past. Well, I mean, my point is like with Days of Future Past, they kind of proved that point even further because there wasn't a whole lot of Wolverine. And the Wolverine that was in there, he didn't do a whole lot. Yeah, he didn't do much of anything.
He pretty much, the only thing he did that was actually cool was when he killed, like, the Mafia guys at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's all he did. He was pretty, like, pointless the rest of the time. I mean, he was there for, like, he was literally there to be, like, a cheerleader, to be like, come on, Charles, come on, get in the game, you know? Yeah. But it's like, physically, like... I don't know, Wolverine with the bone claws is just like, he's pretty flaccid. Like, he can't get the job done, you know? He can't penetrate the enemy.
What did he do before this?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I guess he just shook down people if he was working with the mob. But, I don't know. It was just really good. Like, oh, man. And then Michael Fassbender, Magneto, can do no wrong. Like, even when he was, like, activating the Sentinels with, like, the electrified, like, train track. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense, and I don't care because it's Michael Fassbender Magneto. Yeah. And he's like, when he rips the stadium off the ground, I was so in awe. I'm like, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah.
And I love how, because, you know, the whole thing with Magneto, he's always been like, he's kind of been like villain / anti-hero. And he's always been like, especially in the first movie, he's like, okay, he's doing all these horrible things, but you can see why he's doing them, and you can kind of relate, where it's like, okay, I see his motivation. And this one, he just went, like, straight up villain, you know, where he's like trying to kill Mystique, and he's just like, he's all like, "Hey, this is for the species, bitch. You gotta die." And then he indirectly ends up being the cause of them getting her DNA anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. He was just so sinister. Just the part where she has the bullet in her leg, and he's just pulling the freaking Scorpion from from Mortal Kombat, just like, "Get over here!" And I don't know. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that cape was badass.
The cape was badass. Yeah, the Blood Ocean says he doesn't know karate, but he knows crazy.
Yeah.
I laughed when I heard that part because I know that line, but I forget what it's from. I want to say it's from Cheech and Chong, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So if someone can shine some light on that, I'd be greatly appreciated. But I remember hearing that from somewhere, and I just remember laughing my ass off.
Luis says Bane thought he was hot stuff when he blew up a stadium. Magneto ripped it right out of the ground and flew it across town. What up?
Yeah.
Drops helmet.
Yo, Bronx. Bronx, son.
I don't get why he didn't pick up the helmet while he was flying off.
I don't know.
Cause I mean, maybe he was just looking at Charles like, "You're gonna do that thing with my mind if I pick up that helmet." But he could have just kind of moved it like off the side where no one's looking, and then kind of picked it up across town.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but it was kind of funny. But I don't know, it was really good. That was probably. I don't know, like when I first before I had kind of like fully digested the movie, it's like I still thought First Class was better at first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, because they really raised the stakes. Like the story was good, and what I really liked too, because even in the future where I was like less interested in that storyline, the way they did the action, where the team is actually working together, they've never done that in an X-Men movie.
Right.
You know,
right.
I was just like, oh man, finally. And you know, I talked a lot of shit about this movie, and especially with the mutants that they picked. It seemed like they were just picking random mutants.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna throw Blink in here. We're gonna throw Cable in, or not Cable, but Bishop in here. And then when the way they use the synergy of their powers, I'm like, okay, this is really cool.
Like somebody actually went through and thought the science of this out.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And it's just like, and they picked them obviously because it's like these are the last survivors, and they've learned to use their powers in a certain synergy so they can survive all this. And I was like, that's really cool. On top of that was like the whole like evolving Sentinels. Like I've never seen that before either, and that was really cool.
Yeah,
because at first I didn't get it because I thought they were like Nimrod from the animated series where he was just the T-1000 one.
Yeah,
and
like they're all the T-1000 ones.
Yeah, but on top of that, they have powers too.
Yeah,
and I didn't recognize that at first. I was like, oh snap! Like no wonder they're owning everybody.
Yeah.
The only part with the powers that bothered me was the part where Blink like chops the one of its arms off when it tries to reach through the portal.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, why don't you just make portals like right inside of them and just kill them all like that? Because they can't regenerate apparently.
Yeah.
So just
once they're cut in half.
Yeah. So why can't you just cut them in half? I don't know. Nitpick. But I was just like, after I saw that, I was just like, and then when Storm died, it was the cliche like, well, we got him. Nope. Stabbed through the chest.
Yeah.
Magneto was like, oh, all the pieces of debris didn't hit me. Oh, never mind. This one fatal one did.
I'm old.
Yeah, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I smiled when Halle Berry died.
So,
I smiled.
you're not
I
the
was
only
just like,
one.
Finally.
Good riddance.
Fine. You know what happens to a mutant when she gets overconfident in her own skills? The same things that happens to everything else.
Yeah. What?
Dude, they toss her like a ragamuffin. Oh my god, dude, they just like throw her away like a banana peel. I was just like, nice. Finally.
I like how, like, even though I don't like Halle Berry as Storm, they at least let Storm do something before she died.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
Well, I mean, she was creating that entire storm the whole movie, but I was like, really, that's it? Just that storm?
That's what's hot in the streets right now? Yeah. You don't got a lightning bolt up your sleeve and nothing?
Yeah, I like how her and Magneto combined powers. That was pretty dope.
Yeah. With your powers combined. Yeah. We have an army of death sentinels.
For me, Blink stole the show as far as like the powers.
Powers, yeah.
I was just like, man, she's awesome.
The thing I wonder was if Kitty was fighting them, could she have phased through them to kill them?
I wonder, yeah, because that's her whole power.
But I wonder if since they were semi-organic, maybe she couldn't.
Maybe it's possible.
I don't know.
Highly possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Blink really stole the show because in that whole part of X-Men Age of Apocalypse that I have, her little run through that is like the only like thing that I can read and just be like, this is what makes it feel like an adventure. Everything before that just seems like pointless monologue on like everybody's part. It's just like boring, and drawn out, like
the Colossus on the mountain.
Yeah, over-explanatory. But like hers is just like, she's like a person like lost in time kind of thing, and like so she's like trying to find her way back. So it's got this like really cool like adventure appeal to it. So Blink, that's originally what drew me to Blink. Like I wasn't excited for Bishop because it's like Bishop's kind of like not that cool of a character. He's fun in the X-Men cartoon series, because he's such an ass.
Someone in the future stealing your car. They made his powers weird
come
too.
From the future.
I don't get why he had to channel his powers through the gun. I don't know if it's like that in the comics. I know in the show he can
in the comics he can just shoot him out the same way Havoc does. And that was the other thing is like I didn't think he had like an overload rate. Yeah. Even in the comics, he was just like, "Hit me all you got, Cyclops!" And he's just like, "Oh!" And he's like overloaded, and then he just turns into like Nitro, like a huge explosion.
Photoshop pointed out that Bishop got the same treatment as Darwin. I was going to bring that up. Like, as much as I love First Class and now Days of Future Past, they love to blow black people up because it's just like they both died the same way. They're both of their powers. One is to adapt, one is to absorb, and they both were just like overloaded like a battery and just exploded. It's just like really, like come on. And it's not like the Sentinels could have just stabbed him through the chest and killed him. Like, they had to blow him up.
Yeah, because that was his power. I would have issue with that, but everybody died a pretty brutal death. More than their fair share. Explosion, like, Cyclops got crushed in one instance, and then he got...
I mean, Iceman?
He got... No. Cyclops actually, like, he got kicked around, and he was, like, crushed, I think. Like a soda can, if I'm not mistaken. And then he got ripped in half.
Oh, Colossus.
Colossus, yeah. And then, what did I say, Cyclops?
Yeah.
And then Iceman, his head was knocked off, and then he was melted.
You gotta admit, the melting is pretty ironic.
Yeah. May the force be with you.
That was for you, Louise.
Fire, what's his name?
Sunspot?
Yeah, Sunspot. Yeah, his arm was cut off at the end. And then they just grabbed him and, like, crushed him. I was like, Jesus.
They, like, turned off the lights for him. He just, like...
Yeah, that was horrible. And then the other time, I think they just cut him in half.
Yeah.
And, like, Blink was just stabbed. She had, like, the most noble death. She's like, oh,
yeah.
At least I'm still pink and beautiful.
Wasn't it through the portal, too?
Yeah, it was through the portal. Like, the thing stabbed, and then, like...
She'll never see the sequel.
Yeah, she's just, like, stabbed through the chest. Oh, I'm still in one piece.
Yeah, that's what they rip her in half anyway.
Yeah. He had to just step on her. Freaking mountain style.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really just like, oh my god, I can't believe they blew him up. But I thought it was funny that, like, the two prominent black mutants have both got blown up.
Yeah.
It was just that was kind of ironic. I mean, I don't know. I will be disappointed if there's a third black mutant in the next movie and they don't blow him up.
What about Storm? She's black.
She didn't count.
She didn't count.
She's Halle Berry, so now we're not claiming her.
Oh, she is half. She's a mulatto.
We're just not claiming her because her acting abilities are not up to par. But that is a good point. She did get stabbed, and the other one didn't die at all. That was with the army or whatever. Yeah. I thought those guys were gonna do something. That whole scene, I was like, oh man, it was like Havoc's back, as lame as they portray him.
Yeah,
and they do like nothing.
Yeah, and even the other guy, I forget the other dude's name, is like Bio Warfare.
There was like
person.
There's Bio Warfare, then there's like Ink or whatever.
Ink, and then they completely like remade Toad.
The way he looks. And that's. Why? It made no sense. Like, he looks normal in freaking X1. Why would he need freaking goggles and have pimples everywhere?
And a mohawk.
I can understand the mohawk.
10 years ahead of time.
But, I mean, you can change your hair, but I don't see why... whatever. Moving on. So, all in all, Louis says the army scene should have been cut and they keep the rogue scene. I would say yes, but I hate the way they portray Rogue, so I say no. Without actually seeing the Rogue scene. Unless, of course, she stole Miss Marvel's powers and became the real Rogue and punched the Sentinel in the face.
There you go.
In that case, I'd be very highly satisfied. But all in all, I take back all the trash I talked about this movie, aside from how terrible the costumes still look and the fact that I still wanted Kitty Pryde as the protagonist.
Yeah.
But it was... deep down, I knew. I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah, sure you did. Of course you did. I think there's a lot to be said about once again about the past X-Men.
Yeah,
especially James McAvoy's role as Professor Xavier.
I don't want your suffering.
See, I thought he was saying that to future Charles, but when he was looking at Wolverine, he was like, I don't want your future. Like, I get it. I don't think anybody would want Wolverine.
I know, right? You poor creature.
Yeah.
Dude, I love James McAvoy as Professor X. Like, I loved him when he was the charming one in First Class. I love him when he's like the freaking heroin addict. He had like mutant heroin.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It's like, man,
that's
dumb that they make him walk. And then when I saw that scene, I was like, dude, is he shooting up heroin?
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about the serum thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, serum. I was like, oh my God.
It just got it.
They really took it to a dark place.
Yeah,
Like,
they did.
You don't really put. They didn't see They kind of did it really well. Well, like they didn't put like a hard emphasis to like make it like painfully obvious. But it's like you're kind of using a little bit of your imagination along with the raw imagery. Like, dude, he's shooting up.
Yeah.
So he can forget about his.
Oh,
problem.
yeah, yeah.
And you're putting that together on your own. Like, this is one of those like few instances, and in a superhero movie of all things, where they're like letting the audience figure it out instead of like pointing it out like blatantly. Yeah, like they do explain what the serum was, but they did that like well before.
Yeah.
You know, but when you actually see him, like he's tying up to find a vein.
Yeah, it was just a really powerful and dark metaphor, and the fact that Beast is enabling him.
Yeah, Beast is enabling him, and then Wolverine. It's not like Wolverine's just like, get that shit out of here, get that corn out of my face.
So I gotta address Blood Ocean 07's comment. He says, I think that having the suits or the costumes from the comics in a full-length movie may look ridiculous to the masses. They can't really adhere just to the hardcore fans. May the Force be with you. In a post-Avengers world, I could not disagree more. I think when the first X-Men movie came out, that was the consensus, and I think that they were right at the time. That's why they had the full black suits and the leather.
Yeah, because the media had us second-guessing that, like, the raw X-Men could look good on screen.
Well,
so everyone was just like, yeah, make it modern, and modern was the cool thing.
Yeah.
I think Avengers has officially disproved all of that.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It's like, at the time, I can say that the whole costume design, they probably didn't have it down packed in the 2000s. We've already seen now, like, these costumes can look good on screen. Spider-Man's costume looks amazing. And, you know, the Avengers, they look freaking... If Thor can look cool on screen, these other costumes can be adapted and look awesome. Like, it's not an excuse anymore. It's not that they don't have to modify the costumes to fit a preconceived notion. It's been done, and it's been done excellently well. Captain America's another character. His costume on paper, he has wings on his freaking helmet, and they made him look badass. Yeah. So
it's all about modernizing the actual look, and not just modernizing the people to have modern looks. Not changing the people to have modern looks, just modernizing the look that's already there.
Yeah.
So like you said with the head wings, they didn't give him head wings. They gave him a head wing design on the fabric. So it's like, oh man, that's a cool little like speed design.
Yeah.
There, you know.
So I don't know. And then Luis also pointed out that, you know, cosplayers have looked incredible as well. Like, these are people...
Well, I mean, there's a growing consensus that cosplayers like are this generation's like pinups.
Yeah.
You know, they're like the new pinups now.
Well, yeah, but not only just that. I mean, just the fact that, like, these are people with their own regular incomes, regular everyday people who have learned these skills. These aren't people that are working under $1 million budgets that have, like, assistants.
Or getting contracted by, like, Maxim Magazine to do these fancy photo shoots. It's all out of hand. It's all local. It's all, like, indie...
Yeah, but I mean,
grassroots kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, they're hand making their own costumes, and they look fantastic. You cannot tell me that a freaking huge. You can't tell me that Fox Studios, you know, which I'm sure is worth billions, and
owns a few fashion firms.
Yeah, but it's like the X-Men franchise. I'm sure cost at least $200, if not $300 million to make, if not at least $100 million. It's a $100 million movie. That they don't have money in the budget to find people that are capable of making costumes, and they don't have to look like they jumped right out of the comic like cosplayers do.
Right.
They can still look more superhero-y than they look in these movies. They don't have to be this stupid, like, everyone wears black in the future. We all got to wear leather. It's like, no, it's done. It's played out. I mean, you don't need to do it anymore.
They were going with the Grant Morrison New X-Men run, and in that sense it made sense, but you have to read the entirety of that series, none of which... the major plots any of the original X-Men films really followed. Because if they did in that instance, I think the modern suits would have made a little more sense. But at the same time, they did the modern suits in a bid to change in the comics, you know, in comparison to what was done in the past. Like, we need to change with the times kind of thing. So in the movie, starting that outright kind of like, in retrospect, kind of seems a little off. And if had they actually started with, like, you know, the yellow spandex and the blue spandex and all the different multicolored outfits, and then went with, like, the new X-Men storylines. Like, well, now that we're moving into the new X-Men storyline, we've decided to change the outfits to suit the new X-Men storyline. So, like, okay, cool. Now that suit change makes sense. You know, it's just not stylistic. It's also to go along with the morals and ideals being reflected from this series.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know. I don't begrudge them for using the leather in the first few movies. Like, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, now it's like it's been shown that it can be done and done well. Right. Louis says that Days of Future Past cost a little over $200 million to make. So there you go. So $200 million budget, you can make better costumes, and it's not only just the fact that they don't look like they're from the comic. Like, that's fine. You can change stuff. I'm not going to be that much of a purist.
Yeah.
Except for when it comes to Rogue, she needs her damn powers. But
and not to be Anna Paquin.
Yeah, but they just don't look good. Like, Magneto was the only costume that looked badass. Like, that little, like, cape and a half, and he looked awesome. But everybody else, and then obviously Mystique had the best costume of all. But, I mean, I don't know.
Her costume was Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But I mean, like, everyone else looked dumb. Like, Storm looked... they all look so terrible.
Yeah, she looks like, what do you call it?
To me, they look like the way a lot of people, like, assume a cosplay would look. Like, people that don't know anything about, like, have never seen, like, real cosplay.
She looks like a Paul Mitchell hair poster that you see at the salon.
Who
Paul
that
Mitchell?
Is. Yeah.
The brand of shampoos?
I know Herbal Essence. That's a brand of shampoos.
Whatever. Like, if you went to a salon, you saw the pictures of, like, the pretty people with the cool haircuts.
I don't know.
Stylish. Like, that was her. That's her. She just looked like a haircut
I'm
poster.
Googling. But
Paul Mitchell.
I don't think
the guy makes that local vodka.
the Paul Mitchell experience. Oh, okay, I see now. You should have said, like, what is that makeup brand? Whatever. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, she looks like a freaking hair model.
Yeah.
Supercuts. Oh God. Dude, I got my haircut at Supercuts once. Worst haircut ever. It was like this old dude. No, it was great haircuts, but they were anything but great.
Beetle said I golf clapped when Storm got stabbed.
It was a beautiful
I would love
moment.
to have been there. Did you see that?
Bravo. Good show, old singer. Good show. But yeah, that was probably one of the best parts of the movie. But yeah, all in all, a great movie. Now I can actually get excited for the Apocalypse X-Men movie. And like now, 3 or 10,000 years later, I can actually be like, all right.
I just want to add to what Beetle
Pinky's
said.
out. Nice.
Because he got Storm with the Raws. With the Sentinel Raws.
Cool.
Well, Carrie's not here to get the reference either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Marvel 3 reference.
The raw tag.
With the raw tag.
See, if you wanted to put tag in there.
Whatever.
In sub.
I ruined it. I understand. It's over everyone's head or under the bridge. Blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, good movie. But speaking of the X-Men cinematic universe.
Is that what they say at the end? En Sabanur?
Yeah, that's like whatever language for...
I understand what his name. I just didn't understand what they were saying.
Because his name is Robert Paulson.
I thought they were just jumping for joy because it was like...
treasure!
It was just... Yeah, treasure. Free gummy bear day.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
You just see all these like bricks flying in the air. It's like, what's going on? Is this how they made the pyramids? Is this what they think happened?
It was like after they finished the pyramids, free gummy bear day! Hey, don't stop the fiesta! Don't stop the party! Beetle says the Sentinels got buffed in Days of Future Past. They really did. They were freaking insane, man. It was like
the ducks don't disappear on hit anymore.
But yeah, because I don't know, like they were like they made the T-1000 version of the Sentinel like look like a bitch. Like they would have whooped him. You know, it's like nothing was stopping him.
Well, it was funny because at the end of the movie, it's just like I didn't know that there was going to be a thing at the end. I just assumed, you know, because there's been some in the other X-Men movies. So I just stayed after the credits. I was like, no, I'm getting my money's worth, you know. Like, you always stay after the credits now. That's just like a thing that you know. And I guess there was a guy in front of me, like a couple of rows down, but like right in front of me. And he was like looking up on his phone while the credits were running. He was like, yeah, it's saying there's no after credits. Oh, fuck it, let's get out of here. So they left, and I was just like, are there really no credits? I was like, whatever. I was playing some little game on my phone, and Hibiki was texting someone else. And I was like, let's just stay, see if anything happens. There's like enough people here. Someone probably thinks that there is, or maybe that guy just had faulty information. And then sure enough, there's like all those people, all those Egyptians raving and shit.
Was it Zion?
Yeah.
The war was over tomorrow. This is how the after party would look.
For Bears! And screaming En Sabanor. Yeah, and then you see Apocalypse, and I was like, this is pretty dope.
I'm as far beyond humans as they are beyond you. I hope he talks like that. I know he won't, but I hope they got back like that same voice actor. That'll be awesome. Oh man, the X-Men animated series so great. But so
the Four Horsemen in the background, and I remember Hibiki was just like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Baby, that's the Four Horsemen in the Apocalypse." She's like, "Oh, cool."
Dude, I hope they cast Ric Flair.
Yeah, a lot of the X-Men characters that she is familiar with, she's familiar with Apocalypse because of the animated series.
Oh yeah.
You know? So that's always cool. It's like, those are Four Horsemen. It's like, who are they? It's like, well, it's like the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse from the Bible.
Yeah.
And she was like,
oh, that book.
That guy. Yeah, that book I didn't read.
Nice. So, have you ever seen Stardust?
No.
Are you familiar
but
with
I have seen most of Gundam Stardust Memory.
That has nothing to do with this, sir, because it's not starring Charlie Cox, who's Marvel's Matt Murdock for the Daredevil series on Netflix.
Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's going to be good or not. I've heard a little bit about Stardust.
Oh, I believe me and Luis talked about this on the comic book.
Okay, yeah, that's why I heard the name.
Yeah, I don't know. I pretty much say what I said there. It's like, I'm not really interested. Like, I'll be open to it when it comes up, but there's just like, I'm not a huge fan of Daredevil as it is. He's got a couple of runs that I have over there on my shelf, as you can see. But I mean, other than that, like, it's not like, oh my god, this is needed to happen to, retake the namesake because Ben Affleck sucked balls. It's like, that's not how I feel. It's like, I don't care if, whatever, the French dude that's no longer helmed to the, he's no longer tapped to direct it anymore. Like, I don't care.
Was there a French dude that was going to direct it?
Or whatever.
It was supposed to be denied, I think. Well, he was the one that went to go do Sinister Six.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that if Daredevil's done well, you're going to love it, because I think Daredevil...
No, that's why I'm open. Like, I'll see it, but I'm not like I don't really, like, the news doesn't interest me. That way.
Well, I've heard you call Daredevil the poor man's Spider-Man, but he is more than that, sir.
No, it's more like the poor man's Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, he either I don't know, but he makes a good living as a lawyer. He's like the upper middle class man's Batman,
well, that's what I mean,
as opposed to like the rich man's Batman. Yeah,
see, if he had a family and kids, that paycheck would be gone in like days, and he'd be like, I need to pick up a second job. I need to join the Heroes for Hire.
Well, he does have a side gig, but I don't know. I think
not really a gig when it's not paid. It's like volunteer work.
Well, Heroes for Hire, sir. For hire.
Yeah, but he's not a hero for hire.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
he's a volunteer watchman.
No, sir. He has his card and everything. No. They get 50% off at the
He's
Costco.
Volunteer community on patrol. Cop.
Nice. But no, actually, it was funny because I was reading. I think it was Mighty Avengers, and the Superior Spider-Man was like going off on Luke Cage for the Heroes for Hire. He's like, when I stop a crime, I do it because it's the right thing to do. You do it for money. And he's just being like a real asshole.
Yeah, but they actually don't get paid. They're like the opposite A-team. We're like, yeah, we're for hire, but we're kind of just doing this for free anyway.
Blood Ocean said Iron Man is the rich man's Batman. No, sir. Batman is the rich man's Batman.
Iron Man is like the rich man's Gundam. But Gundam is the everyman's Gundam.
Yeah. What about Exo Squad?
That's from Buddha.
Did Buddha have a Gundam?
Yeah, Buddha was a Gundam.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not the original one, mind you.
The Budapest?
Let me not bore you with Gundam. Because then it'll sound like a Jehovah's Witness.
Do you have a moment to talk about the Gundams?
Yeah.
But, so I'm sure you've heard this news that Josh Brolin is going to be the voice of Thanos.
Yay. I don't know what was wrong with the previous guy, but whatever.
Well, he didn't have a voice, did he? I thought he just smiled.
Yeah, he was like, hey.
Maybe that guy couldn't be reached for comment.
I don't know. It's just like, why not cast that guy and give like this unknown a chance?
I mean, maybe they had him read and that he could only make that sound. Like maybe he didn't actually have a vocabulary.
Thanos.
I still wish it
I'm
would.
going to kill you all, true believer.
I still wish it would have been Ron Perlman. I can't even talk. Ron Perlman would have been cool.
Well, Thanos. Okay, the comic bubble. Luis says there was no previous guy. Thanos never talked in Avengers. He only smiled.
Oh, burn.
So there was a previous guy.
Burn.
Because he smiled.
Well,
therefore, he exists. Therefore, if I can quote Socrates, therefore he is.
What if he was mute?
Tint?
No, because they don't have access to use that word.
Oh, that's
Fox
right.
comes up.
There.
That's our word.
That's our word. You don't get to use that
Only
word.
we can use that word. Louis says the previous guy was just like a guy at the computer. And then
Is that true?
Probably.
Is that really true?
He was just like hidden keys. Blood Snow 7 asks, so Thanos is going to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and Avengers 2? Yeah, he's pretty much just like...
I thought he had a name.
Who?
The guy that played Thanos.
No, his name is Computer Guy.
Computer
He's
Paulson?
credited as Computer Guy as Thanos.
In Thanos, he has a name. This man's name is Computer Paulson.
Yeah, so I don't know with Josh Brolin. I mean that's cool, I guess. I don't have anything against the old Broly.
He's a good.
He plays a good.
Actually, the young Brolin.
What's that?
His dad is James Brolin.
Oh, there's another Brolin.
Classic Western actor.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking Men in Black 3, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, well, that's Josh Brolin, but his dad's like Hollywood old. Like, he's old.
Hollywood alum.
He's like Clint Eastwood old.
Okay, Luis says Thanos was CGI, so yeah, he was created.
I thought he was played by a black dude. I'm serious.
I think you're thinking of Darth Vader, where he where he was voiced by a black guy. It was the ghost of Isaac Hayes did Thanos'
the King of
voice.
Zamunda.
It's the Prince of Zamunda, sir.
Okay, Eddie Murphy was the Prince of Zamunda,
Yeah.
not James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
He was the King of Zamunda.
He was the king?
Yes, that's usually how it works. Stop trolling me! That's my job.
Hey, that's George R. R. Martin's job.
Eat your Cheetos, RR.
No, don't eat the Cheetos. We need you to live to make that other book. Put them
Eat
down.
this broccoli.
Eat a celery stick. Bloodshed said, "Bro,
Gangster Squad.
I wanted to see it. It looked really good. I heard it was really like over the top
I think
and
it's
kind
on
of cartoonish.
HBO Go.
Yeah,
or
I believe so.
Netflix. I saw it on one of those.
I think it's on
the other day.
HBO Go. But so I just want to talk about a little bit of Ant-Man, everybody's favorite superhero. We know Killinova loves Ant-Man. But okay, so everyone knows that Edgar Wright dropped out, and basically, from what I gathered, was they changed the script at the last moment, and they're like, "Yeah, you need to marvel the script up a little bit more, bro." And he's like, "Nah, bro, I'm done." So he dropped out, and then they had brought in another guy, Adam McKay. Adam McKay was he was all set. It's funny on Badass Digest. They have, like, the first headline is, like, Adam McKay to direct Ant-Man, and then the very next post is Adam McKay to not direct Ant-Man.
Yeah, that was, like, not even 24 hours later.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was 18. It's like, literally, he went to sleep and, like, I don't want to do this
Yeah, he
anymore.
took, like, a power nap, and he's like, you know what, it's not worth
I
the
was
stress.
on acid last night. There
Okay.
was a lot of beer going around.
Yeah, lots of Quaaludes were had.
Yeah.
Louis said Adam McKay never agreed. So, okay, so they probably just, like, jumped the gun. He was probably in talks, and he was just like, nah. Okay, he said he was in talks with decline because he already had movies on his schedule.
Okay, so maybe he is still doing The Boys.
Maybe. But I remember listening to the Comic Bubble, and they mentioned that the director for your favorite...
mentioned?
Yeah. Say they?
Yeah, you said they.
Yeah,
The
they as
Comic
in
Bubble,
you
they.
and Luis.
Oh, well, because I'm here, so you used to be like, you guys mentioned.
Oh, you are here.
Use guy.
Sorry, I thought
You
you
could
were...
do like the St. Louis use guy.
I thought you were
or
Sue
New
Storm
York,
for a minute.
You guys.
Use
Or,
guys.
Southern y'all.
Use guys mentioned that you're the director of your favorite movie, Zombieland, might take over.
Shut up. Stop talking. This podcast is over.
So yeah, so I hope that they end up going with that, so you can get another excellent movie that you love.
And the knowledge crystals.
Aquarium gravel.
Every time.
So now I completely lost my train of thought. What movie was I talking about? Oh, Ant-Man. So I don't know. I think it's cool that they want to go the comedic route. It really sucks because it's like, I really like Edgar Wright as a director. I really would have liked to have seen what his vision was. And it sucks, especially being Marvel, because like, it's like, you know, after we've got Winter Soldiers, like, they just kicked that shit up to 11. It's like, you see the quality and how much care that they really enjoy, you know, they really put into these movies. Yeah. And then to have, like, the studio ruin another potentially good movie, it's really unfortunate, because it's like, okay, well, how much more studio interference are we going to have going on? It's like, I felt like all of my fears from Iron Man 3 and somewhat from Thor 2 were, like, placated with Winter Soldier. And now it's like, you know, it just seems like now it's like par for the course again. It's just like, there's still that fear there, you know, that Days of Future Past fear where it's like, is it going to be good? I don't know.
It's like, okay, yes, the movie was great. But the anxiety we felt for the year or so beforehand, that was horrible.
Yeah.
You know? That's never a good feeling. It's like, if I may, because I find it very fitting, it's like when you're on the verge of losing your job and you sit at work for months on end waiting for an answer, only for them to tell you, like, yes, you can have your job back.
Yeah.
It's like, finally, because it's not like the last 2 months have been, like, incredibly anxiety-ridden and horrible for me.
Yeah, it's like they drag it out for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like every piece of news they posted about Days of Future Past just made me cringe more and more and more. And then finally it got to the point. It was kind of funny because it was like, I remember saying that, you know, hopefully it's going to be more than the sum of its parts, because once I saw the trailer, as much as I made fun of the, I don't want your future, I don't want your suffering, like, I didn't really make fun of it because I thought it was dumb. It just sounds funny, and it's like...
it sounds funny, because then you could have him say that to, like, a bottle of Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, but it was just like...
It sound hilarious.
But it was still, like, intense. Like, I didn't think it was, like, bad dialogue, and I knew in the context I was going to like it.
Right.
But my point is, like, I love the trailer. The trailer was just like, how is this ending up looking so good when everything else I saw looked so bad? So, I don't know. And then this is one of those things where I just didn't want to get my hopes up. I wanted to have this be another First Class, where it's just like, I didn't even want to see it. I didn't even want to see First Class. I was so mad at Last Stand. I was like, I'm not going. You guys are, okay, fine, I'll go. And I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I kind of manufactured that same thing with Days of Future Past, but it was totally worth it. I mean, I did legit think it was going to be shit once Bryan Singer came back on. I was just
right. We're like, but Vaughn was doing so great.
Yeah. But speaking of Matthew Vaughn, so when I saw that movie with Melanie, who's in the chat, by the way. Hello, Melanie.
Yay.
But
we knew you were there, though. I actually didn't know.
Yeah, she had made a comment laughing at referring to Mystique's body paint as a costume.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's a costume of sorts.
Did Mama like?
Oh, Mama liked.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Matthew Vaughn is finally, because pretty much he dropped out of doing Kick-Ass 2, and he dropped out of Days of Future Past to do Kingsman. Well, they've dubbed it the Kingsman Secret Service. And it's a comic that Mark Miller wrote.
Oh yeah, it was in the trailer.
Yeah, and they finally showed the trailer.
It looked fun.
It looked to drop out of those two movies to do this. I didn't look. I was not impressed.
Yeah,
I was not impressed. The only thing I did like,
it felt like a kid's James Bond.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is cool, but it's missing something.
Yeah, it's like,
and the movie could be a lot better. I'm sure it could be. It might be a lot better. But by the trailer alone, I'm giving it like a 50-50.
Yeah, the trailer didn't thrill me at all.
Because like at first, you know, when they're showing like the weapons arsenal, and it's like Colin Firth for crying out loud. It's like, what is this? What's this lighter?
Yeah,
and it's like, that's a hand grenade, and they're like, whoa, buy me. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. And as it goes on, I was just like, oh, he's going through this like whole training regimen to be like basically like SEAL training.
Yeah,
you know, being like Delta Squad. And I was like, all right, that's like nothing that special.
It's like, it feels like a movie you've already seen.
Yeah.
I only read the first issue because they killed off a certain celebrity.
Oh, was that comic?
Yes, that was the one.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. So it's like, I feel like, I mean, it's Mark Miller. Mark Miller never does anything traditional, so I feel like they're going to advertise it as like your typical, this kid becomes a spy, and then it's going to be like Kick-Ass, where like that second act is going to kick in, and then all of a sudden it's just going to go crazy and be over the top. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case, and they're just kind of luring people in with the trailer.
Yeah,
and
it's like the last 20 minutes of the movie is like the entirety of the raid Baron Doll. I was like, oh wow, so this part's like really good. All this could have just been scrapped.
Yeah, right. That'd be crazy. crazy. All of a sudden, all these Indonesians come out, they start beating the crap out of everyone.
We got a Filipino stick fight.
Give me back my ball, please. Starts beating him with the bat.
But I gave it back. I know.
That's the whole thing. It's like, what do you do in that situation? You know, you give him the ball back, he's going to hit you with the ball. But you don't give him the ball back, he's going to hit you with a bat. So
yeah, exactly.
You're going to die either way. I think I'd give him the ball back maybe to distract him and maybe try to make my escape at that point.
Yeah.
Just try and like beam him like right in the balls or something.
Scotty style.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sucker.
Louis said he had low expectations for First Class because of X3. Yeah, that was pretty much the case. It was almost like, I mean, granted they're not in continuity, but like Batman Begins didn't do very well because of Batman and Robin, because people were just like, I'm not even giving it a chance. And it ends up being, more than just a movie. But yeah. So Kingsman, The Circus Earth. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, I would recommend checking it out. I'm definitely going to watch the movie, even though I'm not that thrilled about it, because I just have to see like what did Matthew Vaughn give up to do this movie, or what's this movie going to be, with him giving up doing two movies that I was very much looking forward to, and
right.
Days of Future Past and Kick-Ass 2. So kind of on the subject of reading Rainbow, not really reading Rainbow, but Cosmicology, and they have a summer reading list with 20 free comics over 20 days. So pretty much over the next 20 days, the digital comic distributor, are these the ones that got bought out by was it by Amazon or something? Didn't they get bought out recently? But anyway, so they're going to release one comic a day up until June 14th. So I guess this is a little bit dated. Yeah, so starting from May 26th to June 14th, they're going to release a new free comic book. So for those of you who enjoy reading digital comics, I don't. I like to read physical comics. But
is that the one that they're releasing like Transmetropolitan, I think? Like the entire series for like 99 cents an issue or something?
Probably. Well, I mean, I think that's probably how much they cost anyway.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Well, they made it seem like that was like some big deal.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I think digital comics should only be 99 cents. They're not having any printing cost.
Yeah, because I mean, I think there's more worth in a song for 99 cents than there is in a comic.
Yeah.
Because you can listen to a song over and over, and it's more effortless. You're just like, oh, I love this song. It's timeless. Like Time in a Bottle by Jim Croce. But how many times can you sit there and read, like, X-Men issue 12?
Forever.
For 99 cents.
Forever, sir. Well, it depends.
The normal price is, but that's because the rising cost of...
dead trees.
Yeah, dead trees and ink.
I mean, I don't know. I think that 99 cents is a fair price to pay for a digital comic. I think paying the same price for a digital comic as for a regular comic, I think that's kind of absurd, because you're not even getting, an actual physical piece of paper.
Right.
So, just to go back to the summer reading list, so apparently they're only offering each comic once that day, and it's expired after that, so that's kind of annoying. So you have to check back every day, and it doesn't tell you what comic is going to pop up. So right now they have WWE Superstars #1. Yeah. That's going to get people into comics, like some crap. Oh, this looks so bad. All right, I'm going to link this in the chat. This is really crappy drawing of John Cena with no shirt on, just like walking through a crowd of people.
All right, I got to see this.
It looks really dumb. I would not read this. I would be ashamed if this was like someone's first introduction to comic books. And like, you read comics, and then they see this, and then you just feel all ashamed because it looks like garbage.
This is just like Days of the Week.
Oh yeah, you have to scroll down. And you have to click on June 2nd. That's the only one that will come up.
Okay.
That's today's free comic. I told you.
What is that?
It looks terrible.
It looks like a bad design for Stretch Armstrong.
It looks so awful. Awful.
It looks like Rescue Heroes, like those really generic shows for like infants.
It's the GoBots version.
Yeah.
K-Mot. Melanie says nobody sells stuff online for under 99 cents though. Not even Candy Crush. Not that I know of. But CM Punk is retired. Maybe CM Punk is going to launch his own line of comic books. Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows and who cares? But also, speaking of electric comics, the great Alan Moore. I didn't even know. This is so shocking to me because I didn't know Alan Moore even indulged in technology.
I didn't know he was still alive.
Oh, he's alive, sir.
He's like Raj Al Ghul.
Pretty much. He's going to dip into the Lazarus pit and come back for another 20 years of comics. But he's announced an open source digital comics act called Electric Comics. He's gonna show you a world without ink, without paper, a world without Spider-Man. So I guess he's gonna fall in like a vat of like electrified ink and have electric comic powers.
How does it even get a current? Like, how does ink get a charge?
The same way someone falling into getting stung by eels gets electricity powers and turns blue, and it fixes gaps in teeth.
The same way a frog does. The same thing as everything else.
That was like the worst part of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Or is this like electricity apparently fixes teeth?
Well, sign me up then, because my teeth are horrible.
But it's just like, shouldn't dentists have access to this technology if that's all? If that's all they need to do.
They've only been spending these last few years using stem cells to find ways to regrow teeth, and they just barely got to that technology.
They just need to get like a car battery and stick the little prongs on your mouth and just shock you, and all of a sudden
you mean that'll regrow my enamel? Fantastic.
Yeah, it'll either kill you or regrow your enamel. You know, whichever comes first. Louis says, "You know what Electro Comics means? Pit War Digital Comic."
Yeah, but who's gonna color it?
Yeah, I don't know, someone. But pretty much it's a new platform that a press release claims will enable digital comics to be made by anyone. Well, we fall into that category of anyone.
Yeah.
So it's a digital comic making tool. So I think more he just wants to upset the balance. He's just like, I'm going to give the power to everybody, and then I'm going to sit back and laugh. But I think that's pretty cool. I mean, he just seems like one of the most like jaded people. For him to actually like want to inspire people to make comic books is, you know, it's really refreshing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm down with the clown. Not ICP. They suck, but
of course. Yeah.
I guess he's not really a clown. He's more of a magician. So I'm down with that. Especially if he's played by Christian Bale.
Stop. Just stop. Stop it.
Don't want your suffering. All right, so I haven't really been keeping up with the Star Wars 7, or no, is it 7? I thought it was 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it's 7, yeah, so the new one.
Like the Magnificent 7?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be magnificent. It's probably going to be passable at best. But so they're going to so they've casted Laputa Nyong'o from
Laputa?
I don't know.
Laputa?
And Brienne Tarth is going to be in Star Wars. So
Gwendolyn Christie?
Yeah, that's what I said. Brienne Tarth. Of the Sapphire Island, sir. With
horrible.
Patrick Payne.
Luis, he's saying Laputa. What the hell's going on
related here? To Sir Ellen Payne. But anyway, so they're going to be in Star Wars. They hadn't said who they're going to be just yet. But I think it's really cool because, I mean, I like them. Well, I actually haven't seen 12 Years a Slave. I almost said 7 Years a Slave, but there were 5 more years to go through. But it's cool that, you know, obviously that was supposed to be a really good movie. It was cool that she's kind of foul Spanish language, naughty. What do you say? It's not nice to call people putas.
It isn't.
Oh. Well, I guess I should probably stop calling people putas.
Putas.
But, yeah, so it's cool. And I don't know. Like, to me, I just love seeing people from Game of Thrones casted in other movies. So the fact that, you know, that's kind of been a launching pad for Gwendolyn Christie. But, I don't know. It's awesome. But I just have to do a quick side tangent. So I saw bits and pieces of that Pompeii movie with... you know,
it's already on DVD. Like, it didn't even hit theaters.
I think it hit theaters for like a week. But it bombed. But, yeah, so you got Jack Bauer, who's like a Roman senator. And then you have... who was it? Then you have Jon Snow as like this gladiator. And I saw maybe like 10, 15 minutes of it. Someone had it on the flash drive, and I was just like, I didn't have enough time to watch the whole movie. Not that I would have after I saw a couple scenes, and I just skipped forward to see like the fight scenes, and even those were terrible.
Yeah.
Keith Sutherland, come on, dude. That like I had a yeah. I
think I knew that.
Yeah, he plays like this like Roman senator. He's just like a douchebag.
A Roman senator.
Yeah,
but he talks like Jack Bauer.
Almost, but no. You know, if
but like in Greek,
if he just talked like regular, it would have been better. But he does like this really terrible like half accent. It's like half Jack Bauer, half Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer had a really bad accent, and he's just like the most phoned-in performance I've seen in like the longest time. It was so bad. But yeah, Louis says Pompeii's on fire. We don't need no water. Let the city burn, burn, mother, burn. But
Blood Ocean saw it on Redbox. Yeah, that doesn't bode well when, you know, 4 months ago you're on the movie trailers YouTube page for like new movies coming out, and everyone's making a deal about Kit Harington's abs. And then next minute, you're at the store buying iced coffee by the half gallon, and as you're walking out to buy Amazing Spider-Man and Frozen for your kid, you see Pompeii there. It's like, when did it come out at theaters? It didn't.
No,
maybe a week.
It did, but it didn't last very long. It was almost like John Carter.
It was literally at select hole in the walls.
Wow, IMDb rated it 5.7.
Oh my word!
And it really is that bad. It's
out
awful.
Of how many? 100?
Out of 1 million.
Oh shit!
Like everyone, the thing is, like, okay, it has good actors. Kit Harington's a pretty good actor. They have Carrie-Anne Moss. She's pretty good. I have no idea how to pronounce this guy, so I'm not going to try. Kiefer Sutherland. And,
Mr. Echo?
Yeah, I knew he was in something else. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, but Mr. Echo.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I love Mr. Echo.
Yeah. I'm going to put this in the chat. You guys can try. But,
and then what's that
it came out in February.
Baby doll.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
Oh,
Emily something?
Browning.
Emily Browning. Yeah.
Oh, God. So, this unfortunate tragedy of a movie, it was just awful. It was awful. It's like, how do you ruin, like, gladiators and exploding volcanoes? And the only part that was kind of funny was Kit Harington's still fighting and all that, and they send this dude to try and finish him off because he defied the impossible odds and spit in the eye of Rome and blah blah blah.
That's not how it happened. I just saw the episode in Doctor Who. I know what really happened. Okay.
So douchebag Bauer was he's like trolling. He's like pretty much like terrorizing. Oh my God. Okay. So before I even get to that, so Elise pointed out that Paul W.S. Anderson of the Resident Evil movies is the person that's behind this movie. So say no more. That's why it's a giant.
Well, at least those were entertaining. Whatever fan base is like. How do you bring that same entertainment style?
I'm shaking my head, folks.
To like one of the most tragic catastrophes in world history.
Okay, so first of all, the Resident Evil movies, the first one aside, they're terrible. Like, I don't even like the action. The action puts me to sleep. Like, Mila Jovovich punching and kicking people should be enough to entertain me. Like, there is no reason why I should not garner entertainment from that. And those movies are they're just terrible. But anyway, so there's a scene where, like, when the volcano finally erupts, and it's, like, pretty much like Baby Doll, her family, and and Jack Bauer is trying to, like, force her to marry him. And, so the whole stadium's, like, collapsing, and, he sends her off, and then the whole family gets, like, crushed by, like, rubble, and he's, like, laying on the ground, and then Baby Doll's mom is like, kill him. So he picks up the sword, and he's about to stab Jack Bauer, and Jack Bauer just does, like, the cliche, like, movie where his eyes open, and he catches the sword, and he's like, you'd think the dude's on top, so he has gravity and strength on his side, and he still manages to fight him off and kill him. So he stabs the dude, and so, like, him and freaking Trinity are just laying on the ground, bleeding out and dying, and freaking Jack Bauer's off into the sunset.
He just looks at him, damn it!
Yeah. No, I think he did say damn it at one point, and I laughed. So heartily. It was beautiful. Yeah, Beetle, going back to Resident Evil, says, how do you make Wesker unlikable? And, Louise points out, Mila is Paul W.S.'s wife. She should divorce him for that garbage. Oh, God, he did Alien vs. Predator 2? As well.
Oh, my God.
This guy, okay. Bryan Singer, David Lindelof. I talk a lot of crap about both of you guys, but you can both at least make competent movies.
They've got redeeming qualities.
They do. They do have redeeming qualities. Like, their movies haven't been complete ass. They've been, like, needs work. Like, I would give it, like, they pretty much get, like, they're like C students.
Right.
They're not terrible, they're not failing, but they could do better.
Yeah.
But Paul W.S., you're garbage, dude. Like, get it together, get in the game. Like, you already won the game.
Together, pal.
You already won the game of life. You direct movies and you're married to Mila Jovovich. The least you can do is give us movies that aren't complete garbage.
Just, I don't know, go to school.
Just try.
Go to film school or something.
Just try just a little bit. And hey Casey, thanks for joining us in the chat.
Yay.
She's just popping in to say hi.
Well, thank you for popping in, even if it's only for a minute.
Yeah, and tell your wrestling buddy, I said hi.
Tell Kelly we said hello as well.
Yeah, also tell her hello.
Kelly and Acer.
And also your wrestling buddy.
No. Moving on.
But yeah, man, I'm just on that now. Now I'm just angry. Like, how does this guy keep getting work? Okay, like this is the thing I don't get.
Somebody put salt in your Kool-Aid.
Someone took the jam out of all my donuts. But it's just awful. It's just like, I mean, I get why he's still making movies, because his movies still make money, despite how terrible they are, because people are still like, I don't know, this movie looks bad, but I'm going to see it anyway. And I'm guilty of that, too, but the Resident Evil movies are just, like, if you're just going to make a movie that's predicated completely off of action, at least try to do something, you know, unique or, you know, death-defying, something that's really cool, like The Raid. The Raid, especially the first Raid, is all action. And it is incredible. You know, the Dread movie, the new one, not the, I am the law. Not that one. The good one. And that one's pretty much all action. I mean, there's a few character moments in there that are good, but overall, it's just an action movie. And it's fantastic. Like, you know, they made a solid movie. You know, I have no qualms with a movie that all it is, you know, fighting and stuff like that. In fact, you know, got nothing wrong with that. That's pretty awesome.
If that's all the movie is, that's preferable.
Yeah, but it's like, if you're going to do that, at least make the action good as well,
Yeah.
and don't. I don't know, I think it was. I think I saw the very last Resident Evil movie, begrudgingly, and it was. Oh man, it was so bad. So basically, it was like they cloned. Like, I guess the whole time, the Umbrella Corporation had been like doing experiments in front of or doing like presentations, I guess, for different governments, and they like everyone who died in the first movie were like, that was like an experiment to show, like, I guess, like, this is their zombie containment unit, and here's what an outbreak would look like. So they've been cloned and put in all these different scenarios, and like, so you see like Alice, and it's like her as a housewife, and the guy who I guess was her partner in the first one, and he's like her husband, and then Michelle Rodriguez's character, she's somebody else in this universe, and they're really just like in this dome that's like this fake reality, and it's like, it had potential. It's like, that's an interesting concept, but they did nothing with it.
Yeah,
it's just bad.
Yeah, we just got the cash cows back. Michelle Rodriguez, Kate Diggs. What up, people?
I don't know. It just because, I mean, it's based off of such a, you know, good video game franchise, and Mila Jovovich is great. Loved her in Zoolanders. It's like, I just know that they can do better, and I think that's where I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
But Luis says, the only person who says I am the law in my book, and that's Stallone. Well, yeah, there's. I am the law. I don't know if I don't think anyone else can say it like him. Not just because they can't contort their mouth to
it pretty well
in human proportions. Yeah, you know, not bad. I give you about a C-. You know, you could make Paul W.S. movies.
I is sad.
Oh God, Luis says they did horrible with Leon, his favorite Resident Evil character. Mine too. Well, I also like Claire Redfield. But Leon Kennedy's pretty badass. Cause he's a cop, you idiot.
I was never big on
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah? What's big on you, buddy?
that face is the reason why we need to go to video. That face alone.
Oh, I completely forgot. I actually brought my camera so we could try it out today.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Let's set that up next week instead.
As we're about to leave. So, oh man, Fluttershin says Jill Valentine's #1 for him. Jill Sandwich, what's big on you? Yeah, but anyway, so we're gonna wrap this up. So thanks everyone for listening. Everyone who's gone. Casey, thanks for popping in, even though you're gone now. Mark, Bobby Beetle, and of course those still listening.
Guest.
Yeah,
Guest 1 and 2.
Random guests that were here for a few seconds. Yeah. Blood Ocean 07. Melanie, shout outs to Melanie. And, thanks for joining us. And, of course, Luis of the Comic Bubble.
Pop.
And be sure to check it out every Friday, except for next Friday, which will be, this week it'll be on Tuesday. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Mixler.com. So check it out. And you can join us again next week. This is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
And this has been Straight
Outta
Austin.
We'll leave you with this little jam. Saturday
how
morning.
was school today?
Son of a bitch.
Hang on. Unintentional commercials.
Son of a bitch. I hate YouTube.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's what happens when you don't queue your stuff up first.
Commander and the leader. Bubbles, she gets the joy and the leather. Buttercup, she is the toughest.
nice, and everything nice. And a little bit of that chemical.
Here they come, trying to save the world, and they are just in time. The Powerpuff Girls. Here they come, trying to save the world, and they are just in time. The Powerpuff Girls.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The Powerpuff Girls. And I am Mojo Jojo. Mine's on.